Hey, folks, what's going on? Open mic night. Couple people here. Who's here? Who we got on the mics tonight, guys? We'll start to my right. Dylan. Ah, gonna say anything?
Yep, that's me, Adam. That's me, Adam. Sorry.
Jamie, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Adam. I'm so glad to be back on this. And as we said backstage, I mean, this is basically our own safe space, our own virtual comedy club strictly based on sports. Anything goes.
Safe place. I don't know about that because you never know when you're going to get attacked. Like whenever you say the Niners are not going to make the playoffs, like the guy over there did last
But
week.
that's what makes open night great. It's our story, man.
Bold prediction. Uh, Dylan, you were talking about some bold predictions backstage. Why don't you bring them up? We can talk about them.
Oh, I've got one. Oh, I've got one. By the way, in my AFC East prediction yesterday, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to circle the wagons for a fifth straight division, and I'm picking the Bills to represent the AFC in New Orleans this year.
Hey, it might not be a like I said. I know I'm a Bills fan and everything, so take it with a grain of salt when I say it. But they were a couple plays away, and a Tyler Bass field goal away from beating Kansas City, and who knows what they would have done on the road at Baltimore because Kansas City ended up beating Baltimore. So they probably could have made it last year and beat the 49ers. So but again, the last 2 years, that's when they've had a proven team and everybody's been high on them. But this year, except for Josh Allen, they're basically more of a work in progress team with a bunch of young new receivers and Khalil Shakir. But I'm glad, Dylan, you're still picking them at a time when they're a work in progress because you and I know that by the end of the season, McDermott will have those new guys and rookies all figured out and collectively playing well together.
So, Jamie, you say they're a work in progress. So, should no one draft anyone on their fantasy team except for Josh Allen?
Yeah, for fantasy purposes, I that's what I think.
I think they're gonna win the East too, and here's why: because Stephon Diggs is gone. All of a sudden, everyone has a shot at being open, and Josh Allen has the freedom back to throw the ball around, and that's why I think getting rid of Stephon Diggs is going to be a big step for his progression again.
And they
That is
could ground and pound like they did last year too. They can run the ball down teams' throats during certain games when they need to, like they did
right.
last year.
Just focused on instead of just being focused on like one guy and then knowing he's going to come to the sideline and hear it because he didn't throw it to him. Josh Allen's going to have a wide open floor.
Right, and they're
And
gonna they're gonna run the same offense they did last year. That's why they went more to a running offense at the end of last year. That's why Diggs struggled. Part of it was because they changed their offensive scheme in the middle
I
of the
think getting rid
season
of Diggs, I think getting rid of Diggs,
when Joe Brady took over.
I think getting rid of Diggs is going to help Josh Allen.
And like it started last year when they changed the scheme up like that.
I would
Do you?
argue, I would argue Diggs has faded the last couple of years. I mean, I don't know what it is, but Diggs has not done much second
He's
half of
like
the.
he's got the TO syndrome. He just wants he is great like the first 2 years, and then by year 3 and 4 he wears out his welcome mat. That's how TO was.
Plus, I mean, I think James Cook's interesting, but the guy I'm liking more and more for the Bills, Ray Davis. If you're in leagues, and trust me, as someone who's done one, two, 61 DK Million Maker drafts, you will find guys. 60, yeah,
Especially running backs now with the fact that um that we don't pay the running backs as much as we used to, and it's kind of a devalued position that, like, as we saw this year, not one running back was taken in the first round. The first running back didn't go in the draft until the second round. So
I bet that made Mel Kiper happy.
oh yeah, that sound, but I don't agree with taking a running back in the top 10. But you know what? He actually looked at the time that sounded awful, but he's actually right now because you don't have to take a running back really in the first round anymore. Running backs are kind of a dime a dozen now. So he ended up being right in terms of that stance. At the time he wasn't, but now he looks totally correct saying that.
I mean, like Isaiah Pacheco went in the 7th round and might be a top 5 running back in the league.
James Cook was a second rounder. Ray Davis, 4th rounder. Devin Singletary was a 3rd rounder, and he's obviously not turned into a top 5 back, but he's turned into an adequate back at least. For a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, and
no, I got another guy that could be a steal too. Eric Gray on the Giants. He was a 7th round pick. He could be a gem for this year now that Saquon's gone.
I think Tyrone Tracy's going to be okay. I know all the reports scared the living you-know-what out of everyone, thinking Tracy was going to be out for the year.
Yeah, but now they got a whole committee of running backs. They just don't have to just give it off to Saquon. They got Singletary, Tracy, like I said, Eric Gray, and then trying to think who else. I know they got 4, but those are 3 capable backs that they can do by committee.
I think Tracy's going to be out a while. This injury sounded pretty bad. He's already being operated.
What's his first name?
Tyrone Tracy.
They took him in the 4th round. The Giants, they did. He ran a 4.47 40-yard dash. He's kind of like he's got a combination of speed and power, and he's elusive, and he runs low center gravity.
All right, hold on. Okay. I was going to bring him in, but there he is. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Another home run by Soto.
I like it.
And by the way, Jamie, you and Matt teams play week 4, and that's after my Jags visit you Bills week 3. So we need to have some friendly wagers for those.
Hey, we gotta play we gotta play the Ravens. I mean, it's just like the Chiefs have to play the Ravens. It's both the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs. It runs through those 3 teams if you want to. If you want to take it from us, but it still runs through those. It still runs through at least Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo, Matt. That's the way it goes.
I'm just glad we don't play Baltimore this year because I'm sick of Derrick Henry.
I love Derrick Henry. Are you kidding me?
So Matt, you missed Dylan's prediction last week in the hour mark where he said San Francisco is not going to make the playoffs.
That's a wild prediction.
Although, did you see they got 26 guys injured already? I saw an article about it.
Yeah, everybody's getting banged up. It's that time of the year.
What do you guys think of the Guardian caps that they wear now during practice over their helmets?
It looks good. Go ahead.
I'm all about player safety, but it's almost absurd that they're letting them do it in game. I understand practice, but in game just seems a little bit crazy
Jonathan
to me.
Taylor wore it in the game the other day, right?
He did, and there was a lineman that wore it over the weekend as well.
I don't think but like I said, it's not going to be a majority of the players. It's going to be like a minority of the players, though.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like when MLB introduced that padded hat a few years ago and like a few guys use it. But I think it helps. I don't think Jonathan Taylor looks weird for wearing that. He's probably smaller than the rest of us. Might save his brain.
It reminds me of an 8-bit Nintendo game. Looking at them when they have it on.
The only good thing about him is, like I said, they protect it. No, but it's done what the NFL wants it to do, and that's decrease head injuries and concussion injuries. It's done that, but when you have that now, it still doesn't help with lower body and other injuries. That's the difference.
Speaking of new rules, what do you guys think of the new kickoff rule?
I like it.
It's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. It's they have totally taken one of the most exciting plays in football and reduced it to meaning nothing.
You get more returns out of it, though, too. That's why
You get more returns. That's the only positive to it, Jamie. But I'm a football traditionalist. I grew up playing in the early 2000s and mid 2000s, and I coached in the beginning of the 2010s, and that is a play that is supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to dictate the start of a game, the outcome of a game potentially. You're essentially making it to where it's a glorified running play at this point, and it's not okay.
Matt, to answer your
Okay, yeah, but Matt, can we at least agree? It's better than like last year where you're just watching it. Everybody got sick and tired of watching balls just being blasted into the end zone every time, though, and teams just started at the 25.
I mean, that's a fair point. I just they've already policed so much violence and contact out of the game of football, and now if you think back to some of the most electric plays in NFL history, a lot of them are kick returns.
Mm-hmm.
A fair amount of them are kick returns.
Hey, John.
So, what's going on, John?
Go ahead, Matt.
Matt,
new angle, John. I like it.
switch it up a little bit.
And
No,
John,
no.
we have to listen. We're listening to Matt explaining why he doesn't like the new kickoff rule, even though you and I like it.
Have at it. Let me hear it.
I mean, if you look back to every Super Bowl, there's always a memorable kickoff. If you look back to some of these high profile games, you're always thinking about think about the impact that somebody like Devin Hester had, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. You know, that to me, he got inducted based on the fact that he was a kick and punt returner and not a position player. So like you're just eliminating another exciting play to a very watered down, very offensive centric game, and I feel like that's look. I played in an era, and I'm not saying that I played at a high level, but when I was playing football, you could still have a wedge, and you would have one crash dummy on your team that was the wedge buster, and the high impact, high collision. That's where you put the organized chaos of your football team is on those kick and kick return teams. They've made it so like there's no collision to it anymore, and now the kick team can't move until the ball lands in the landing zone. It's just it's absurd to me. It totally turns me off to the start of the game, and you want to be captivated from the time you turn the TV on until the time the game's over.
I get that argument. That makes sense. I mean, you're looking for like something. Could we open the game with maybe a to the house touchdown, something 90-something yard run? Could we break the record if it's out of the end zone? I get it. I mean, you're kind of you're kind of waiting now for like that first drive of the game to kind of see what happens, and then you kind of get kickstarted to that. I totally get that.
Because at the end of the day, now a kick returner doesn't matter. You can trot out any running back or wide receiver out there to return kicks at this point. It's not a specialized position anymore.
I beg to differ. I think what it's going to do is I think the kick returner will be a more integral part of the game, because we saw seemingly 70% of kicks would end up in the end zone. Not going to happen this year.
My point that I said.
Not going to happen this year. I think the kick return will be an integral part of the game.
Exactly.
And I mean, by the way, Matt, you should remember because in the Ravens' first Super Bowl, the Giants and Ravens scored back-to-back kick return touchdowns. Actually, there were 3 touchdowns scored. One was a pick six, I think a pick six, then 2 kickoff return touchdowns.
You're correct. But the thing is, that's when the kickoff rules were you kicked off from the 20, and that's another that was a time period where not many kickers could kick it out of the back of the end zone because you're kicking off from the 20 first and foremost. So you had no choice but to return. Most kicks weren't going anything but maybe a yard or two deep in the end zone, not 9 yards deep like they recently have been. I understand the amount of touchbacks was alarming, but in the same breath, guys, it's now a meaningless play. I understand that you're going to have to either get the ball on the 35 or the 30. I know the yardage they changed it up, but let's look at all of our teams. John, I'll go with you first with the San Francisco 49ers. You could literally trot out any running back or wide receiver on your football team to be your kick returner right now. It used to be the shiftier, smaller guys that had the acceleration, the speed, the burst. And there's always an exception to the rule. Josh Cribbs was a 6'3", 220-pound kick returner. I'm not talking about him or Cordero Patterson for that matter. But now you can literally put anybody back there because it's essentially a glorified run play. The defense can't react until the ball is physically in play.
No, I agree. That's what I was going to say before Dylan said something. I feel like toward the end of this past season, a lot of people, that's what a lot of teams are doing. They were kind of just running. Obviously, yeah, you want your small guys, your guys who can put the burners on. I feel like they were kind of just running different people out there and running it by committee, depending on what game it is, like for kickoffs and stuff like that. I feel like they were kind of running different guys, running backs and wide receiver threes out there. So maybe that was kind of get ready for the rule for this year. I don't know, but I feel like it's specialty-wise. I mean, we go back to the Here Comes the Boom videos back in the day when we were all still getting out of high school. Like that's when kick return was kick return. It's been watered down for a long time, and I mean, I like them being innovative. Me and Jamie have talked about it. I mean, it's something. I know it's not obviously what you're saying. It's not going to get me out of my seat to start the game, but it's at least it's not. It's probably not going to be a touchback. At least it's going to be a run. It's something. It's a step in the right direction. Like we'll see what happens. But
and like I said, with athletes are bigger and stronger now, and it's like baseball with the pitch clock. Over time, you have to be able to adapt and make it so that it's fun and exciting for the next generation and all that and everything. Like
the pitch clock was to make the game not be 4 hours long.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Baseball added that because they want to make games faster play, more action, and bigger bases for stealing again. The kick return with this is trying to be innovative with the younger and faster athletes now. That's why.
Okay, to counter that though, Jamie, and maybe you guys can also chime in on this. Let's take it back to what Dylan was saying in the first Ravens Super Bowl. Or you can take it back to the Chicago Bears, Devin Hester Super Bowl. Okay, I understand that the players are bigger, stronger, faster now. I get that, and I agree with you 100%. But the majority of these run lanes open up in the same fashion now if there's no head start on either side. Now you
once the ball receivers at, yeah, there are more open lanes because they're not allowed to collide basically.
Well, but the thing is there's the lanes are there's going to be more lanes, but it's going to be a shorter time period. Nothing's going to have time to develop. So it's essentially a run play.
Or you can also get tricky though and handing on a reverse to another guy.
You don't need that. You don't need hokey shit for the kick return. Okay, because you had Deontay Hardy last year on the Bills, correct, Jamie?
Yeah.
Deontay Hardy was a Bill last year. He's now a Raven.
Yes.
He's now a Raven. We had Devin Duvernay for 4 years. He's now a Jacksonville Jaguar with Dylan's team. So now these guys that are essentially niche players that are only good for kick returning and the occasional offensive rep, what's the point now? They have become obsolete because you've taken the game planning and the unpredictability out of the kickoff.
I don't know. I saw Parker Washington get a 70-yard return against Kansas City the other night.
That's cherry picking though, Dylan. That's one kick return out of a 3 or 4 dozen preseason games that have happened league wide already. So I mean, I understand that he had that nice kick return, but he's the only one.
And it's preseason.
It is preseason, but he's the only one through 2 weeks of the preseason plus the Hall of Fame game. We've seen one legitimate return with this new kickoff setup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a pessimist about it, but it seems crazy.
We've seen the actual returners that are going to be out there in week 1 returning these kicks, or are they the backup guys?
You're seeing some guys that are going to be returning. You're seeing some guys that are going to be backups. You're seeing some guys that are probably going to be on a practice squad. It's different for all 32 squads. I'm just saying that it's they've taken the specialty away from the kickoff.
Okay.
Like I said, I know Tank Dell was returning kicks on Friday against the Steelers.
But Tank Dell has no business returning kicks.
Well, neither did Antonio Brown at that point, but they still let him.
But the thing is, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted all these wide receivers late in the later part of day 3 drafts, and they made them kick returners before they became all-star wide receivers. It was the same way with Emmanuel Sanders. It was the same way with Antoine Randall. It was the same way with Mike Wallace. The only person that didn't return kicks on the Pittsburgh Steelers that was a fantastic wide receiver was Plaxico Burress.
Did Heinz Ward ever return kicks?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he was a kick returner out of college.
He wasn't pretending when he wasn't shooting himself in the foot. He was a great player.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Santonio Holmes.
But he was a high draft pick, though. He was a top 10, top 15 draft pick. I'm talking about the guys you take in day 3.
They're supposed to play special teams, man. That's what the later round guys do.
Exactly. The late round wide receivers make their bones on special teams. So
Sean McDermott does that with the Bills when he takes later guys. He makes them play special teams.
And not to leave John out of this conversation, but I saw the Niners were closer to signing Ayuk.
Yeah, it's on BA, man. It's either more money and nothing. No offense, maybe a lackadaisical season, or less money, have some fun in the playoffs. It's all BA wants.
Or it's Biggie Smalls. The more money we got, the more problems we see out of IU.
That's what I'm saying. It's up to BA. I'm sick of seeing it online. I'm sick of seeing it on X. I'm not here, obviously. I'm sick of talking about it every 12 hours. Breaking news. I don't give a shit. Talk to me when he's traded. When he signs one of the contracts, either the one the Niners have for him or the Pittsburgh Niners deal, whichever they're doing, let me know. He clearly doesn't want to be here. He would have signed the deal. I mean, I get it. He's seen a lot of his other teammates get market value contracts, and it sucks. He has to take. They're asking him to take a little bit of a cut.
I want to ask you something though, John. I'm not a 49ers fan by any means, but the 49ers have paid every one of their star players handsomely at market value or above. Okay, Nick Bosa is one of the best defensive ends in football. That is warranted. He's great in the run game. He's great as a pass rusher. Warranted. Multifaceted. Fred Warner, best cover linebacker in football.
Notice the heart and soul of that defense, too.
Arguably top 2 linebacker with our guy. I'm a little biased, but Warner's a monster.
1-1A. It's fine.
Yeah. However you want to swing it. Christian McCaffrey, running back, receiver, pass blocker. Does it all. He gets paid. Debo, running back, wide receiver, gets paid. Multifaceted on the offense. Brandon Ayuk wants $35 million a year, and he does nothing better than the other guys that I just mentioned on the offense.
It's Purdy's favorite receiver.
it doesn't matter if it's Purdy's favorite receiver. You're now going to commit $30 to $35 million to a guy that doesn't have any plays out of the backfield, isn't that good of a run blocker downfield. I understand he's a very good route runner. That's understandable.
He's a headache too to deal with too.
But how much better are you guys going to be without Ayuk on the field?
So I talked about this. I talked about this last week. I'm not in the camp of paying him. I agree, Matt. Everything you just said, I totally agree with. It's everyone's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with BA? How are we going to win if we can't win a Super Bowl? We can't win one with him.
Yeah.
He's been there in the past too. Where's the ring?
We just got 2 comments about that. By the way,
if BA goes, they're gonna go out. They'll get something else. They get the Devontae Adams stuff out here on the back burner, talking about all that crap. They went out and got a couple wide receivers, knowing this might happen in the draft. I'm not worried. If he stays, awesome. It is Brock's favorite. That's his whoopee. That's the man he goes to when he's in trouble.
Okay,
I get that, but that's not a reason. I'm not saying
about Brock.
Right. I'm not saying he should be paid. I think he's demanding too much money. He sees what his other guys did. He's doing the cute IG shit. He's trying to be cute, talking about watching film of other teams, just trying to stick it to Shanahan, to stick it to Lynch. That doesn't work when you're not multifaceted and you're not.
Brock should be paid before Ayuk.
Brock's going to get 55 to 60 next year,
and that's why they can't pay him what he wants. They're like, they had to have had that meeting that looked at him and said, "Look, we got to pay the quarterback, bro. Who's going to throw it to you? You got to pay this guy."
Your all-world left tackle's holding out still.
Yep.
Trent Williams.
Who should get paid before BA? Absolutely.
So here's an interesting question: would Brandon Ayuk be? I mean, Brandon Ayuk probably sees himself in that Jamal Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson.
He's not though, and I think he's a very good receiver.
No, Dylan just said he sees himself that way, so I get that.
No, but is Brandon Ayuk more on the Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith range?
He's
not even
AJ Brown.
I give you AJ Brown absolutely all day.
He's AJ Brown
if you put BA in a good off, and he could be a wide receiver 1 for you, depending on where he goes. If they're that depleted and they're rebuilding, doing something, I get that. But
let's play this out hypothetically. Does Brandon Ayuk have the same output and production if Justin Fields and Russell Wilson are his quarterback as opposed to Brock Purdy?
No, God, no.
Okay, so now you're going to have to justify paying him anywhere from 25 to 35, depending on what he wants.
And he almost went to the Steelers. They had a deal for him too.
He almost did, and now you're going to have to pay this man, and you're not. The 49ers aren't going with you.
Nope. I agree. Like I said, it's either
he would now
take a little bit of money, get a team player, go along to get along, show what you're worth, or
the Niners were trying to get Minka off the Steelers.
No, the Steelers almost got Ayuk.
That's the trade that's on the table. That's the deal that's on the table right now.
Niners wanted Minka because I guess Hufanga, I guess he's in like Matt question mark right now.
Yeah,
every
season he plays, he's kind of a question mark. If he stays healthy, he's great. If he gets hurt, you're not going to see him on the field. But that's what I said. Either take the pay cut, be a team player, go along to get along, buy into it, see yourself in the postseason. Let's see if we can run it back. Go get your bag, go get paid. And again, nothing against the Steelers. They could be great this year. Or take a chance of just being 8-8-1 and watching the playoffs.
Stop kissing Adam's ass. Pittsburgh's going to finish 4th in the division this year.
I'm making a bold prediction, Matt. The Steelers
but they always seem to fly under the radar.
Here we go. What time we got? 29:06. Bold prediction time.
I'm making a bold prediction right now, Matt. The Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback in 2025 is not on the team right now.
Oh, well, yeah, we both know that. Everybody here knows that. Fields isn't getting his 5th-year option picked up, and Russell Wilson is going to be playing in Minnesota or New York next year. He's not going to be a Steeler.
Heck, Sierra might be playing before Russ next year.
I mean, Russ has got a noodle arm, man. I saw him play in person a couple years ago.
Yeah, she can 1-2 step her way onto the field.
I've never been a big fan of Russell Wilson, and now I have to act like I am. Just like I have to act like I'm a fan of Mike Tomlin.
No, you don't. You can be honest. You can be honest with yourself, and you can be honest with the people that watch your show.
He hates Mike Tomlin, remember, man? I got into an argument with him over
Nowhere
the phone
near
about it last
Man,
year.
Oh,
No, Matt, you know he hates Tomlin, right?
I know he tells me all the time.
I don't hate Tomlin. I just don't like the way he coaches. I'm tired of his stupid clips. I'm tired of his cliches.
Oh, here's a factoid. He's now the longest. He's the
Over and
longest tenure coach in the NFL now because Belichick retired 18 years.
I believe it's Tomlin, then Harbaugh, then Reed are the three longest tenured.
Yeah.
probably all three will end up in Canton.
Yeah, great. Tomlin's going to wind up in Kent with 1, 2.
Adam he just wants to win, man. That's how Adam is. He's passionate. He wants to win.
I hate this 500 shit. It's not good. It's not good for your soul.
Hey,
I
Jamie, at least Mike Tomlin's got more Super Bowl rings than your team does.
That's obviously a given, dude. Ha ha. I'm
here's
laughing at that, but you're stating the obvious there, Dylan.
so here's the question: how do you wake up tomorrow? You're running the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're the GM and owner. You want Tomlin out. Who's the coach?
That's the thing. Like, that's the question. Who is the coach?
He wanted D'Amico Ryans when he was
So do you
available.
stick with the devil you know than what you don't know if there's no one out there that you really have a candidate for?
Maybe I think that's why we're sticking with him because there is no one else out there right now. I don't think.
No, I think you promote Arthur Smith.
Oh gosh!
Oh God.
Oh gosh!
That's why they hired. That's why I think they hired Arthur Smith.
There goes the
In case
street.
Tomlin doesn't do anything, they're gonna promote Arthur Smith mid-season.
Mike Vrabel.
Ooh,
I
would
love Vrabel. I
that's
love
Mike
big
Vra-
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel started his career there as a player.
Yep.
And
He
I
went
thought
to the
for certain that he was going to be the next Pittsburgh Steelers, at least defensive coordinator, if not head coach. I didn't think I thought Tom was going to honestly retire this past offseason, but if that job opens up next year, it's Vrabel's.
I hope so.
Or I could see Belichick going.
Ooh.
Nah, that would
Him
him in Pittsburgh would not be a good. That would not be a good fit.
You want a complete overhaul.
Be honest with you, part of me thinks that Mike Tomlin's going to end up on TV.
I would take Vrabel over Belichick with Pittsburgh.
I take Vrabel. That's a good call. I like that.
I like Vrabel too, but I can see Belichick for some ungodly reason.
Bill Belichick's going to end up in
Belichick was
Philadelphia.
if Belichick was cool not being the GM, I think Pittsburgh would work for him. Do I want to see that happen? Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, but you saw what he did with the
Brad
Patriots
Dog,
when
and Baltimore.
Brady was gone. He didn't do anything because he didn't have a quarterback.
I think Bill Belichick will end up in Philadelphia.
I don't think they're going to fire Sirianni unless they absolutely shit the bed this year. I think Sirianni's going to get at least another 2 years.
I don't know. Philadelphia
see
got
his
rid
vision
of 2
through.
Super Bowl head coaches.
That's fair.
Yeah, and one of them's coaching your team now, Dylan.
Yep.
I don't think you thought that one through, did you?
Boys, before you guys entered, we had this conversation, and we all think Buffalo is going to run the East. What do you guys think?
He's a Ravens guy, so obviously he has a different opinion, but I want to hear it, Matt. Go ahead. As a Ravens guy, tell me.
I think Buffalo is
Rich?
Buffalo's probably going to run the AFC East, but I would be remiss to say that Miami doesn't have an outside shot. I think that they're getting healthy, and they have a good football team down there. I still don't trust Tua, but Jamie, you and I probably are going to disagree on this, but I think we're going to see the pre-Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen on leading this football team. He's very turnover prone, and I believe that he is not going to be nearly as good as he was with Stephon Diggs. And it's not. And I'm gonna preface this, Jamie. You're probably one of the only Buffalo Bills fans that I like.
Man, I love it.
Because the pretentiousness of Bills Mafia, and I get in arguments with a lot of these guys on Twitter. A lot of them have me blocked because I just use statistical fact and data behind my argument as to why Allen isn't who everybody thinks he is. But I understand that
Stats don't matter.
Yeah, stats don't matter to illogical people.
Exactly.
But it's not. I think that Buffalo has the best chance to win it because New England's a dumpster fire as usual. I think they're probably 2 or 3 years away from competing with Jared Mayo. They're gonna have to give him a couple years to rebuild that team. And the Jets are the Jets.
Their defense is going to be good, but you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play. That was just like last year. And they're going to be able to run the ball with Breece Hall, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and their offensive line is completely rebuilt. And it's dangerous. If I'm not mistaken, I think the New York Jets starting left tackle is Tyron Smith.
Yes, it is from the Cowboys.
We traded Morgan Moses back to the New York Jets, so he's their starting right tackle this year. As a run blocker, that dude is phenomenal. As a pass blocker, holy shit, watch out. So yeah, the Jets are a wild card, man. There's so much going on. It's like a circus up there.
But I mean, like I said, they're going to play good defense with Saleh as they always do. It's their offense.
What the heck is going on with Hassan Reddick though? Like the Jets traded for Hassan Reddick.
I haven't done one thing with the Jets yet, and I already want to be traded. I haven't.
He wants to be paid though.
I haven't attended to any meeting. I haven't gone to any training camp practice. I haven't taken one snap with them. I haven't done anything.
They're not going to trade him.
Being traded.
Jamie, though, let's just all use common sense for a second. Everybody here is diehard football fans for their teams. Mm-hmm. Who on earth is going to trade for a linebacker in his contract year that wants to be paid without having an extension on the table ready to be signed? Who does that? The Jets thought that he was going to come here and play out his final year just on the principle of playing for the New York Jets. If he wouldn't do that in Philly, he's not going to do that in New York. He's not going to do that anywhere. He still produces at a high rate. He averages 10.5 sacks a year when he's healthy. So he deserves to be paid. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not Nick Bosa. He's not TJ Watt. He's not Micah Parsons, but he's up. He's that next tier.
He's not any of those guys, but he's a generational talent at his position.
He is. But why did the New York Jets make a trade for him without giving him an extension first? What did they think was going to happen? They're mad about their defensive end holding out a training camp, and in the most important set of off-season workouts, their quarterback's in Egypt. What did they expect to happen?
That they were going to lighten him like Aaron Rodgers. That wasn't going to happen.
Exactly. But why is anybody surprised? You should have had a deal with Hassan Reddick before you traded for him. It should have said Hassan Reddick traded from Philadelphia to the New York Jets and agrees in principle to X amount of years, X amount of dollars. If he was
the almighty rookie salary cap and salary cap, that's the thing.
I get it, but who trades for a star player without giving him new money? It's unheard of.
Right.
Because the Jets are idiots. Oh wait, they are idiots. I have a question for everybody. While doing fantasy rankings, doing running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, I want everybody's top 5 quarterbacks going into the season. Not fantasy-wise, top 5 quarterbacks going into the 2024 season.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson. C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Jamie.
Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Stroud.
That's only 4.
Oh, and Burrow.
Big Rich.
In no particular order.
Well, 1 through 5.
Wow. Okay, I gotta go. As much as I hate to say it, I gotta go Mahomes 1.
We all hate to say that, Rich, but that's good. We did it.
Burrow 2.
Ooh.
Stroud 3. Allen 4. Uh, 5 is a tough one because I got 2 I'm thinking of. I'll go Lamar. Honorable mention Justin Herbert.
Ooh.
John.
I got questions, so I'll wait till everybody else is done. I got questions for that.
Okay, Adam.
How you doing, Matt?
Good.
Wait, who's up? Me or John?
Adam.
Matt, does Tim want to join us?
Oh my God, we just got a funny comment.
Tim want to join us?
He's winding down. He just got done watching the Orioles game.
All right.
We fucking
that
lost to the Nationals.
Disaster.
Hey, at least I beat the Yankees losing to the White Sox last night.
All right, so I would go Mahomes, Stroud. I'm throwing an NFC guy in there. I'm going off the wall here, guys. I'm saying Anthony Richardson's going to be on this board this year. I'm saying Lamar, and then I'm either going to go Love or Purdy.
John.
Yeah, I got Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Allen, and Purdy.
My list is sort of similar, but very different. 5. 1 is Mahomes, 2 is Allen, 3 is Burrow, 4 is Lamar, and 5. None of you picked him at 5. Matthew Stafford.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good call.
Another bold
Okay.
pick.
Not a bad pick.
My question is, okay, look, I'm trying not to be a Baltimore homer. I'm trying to be a Baltimore homer at all. But I want to know, okay, we all know that Patrick Mahomes is this generation's Tom Brady. He is that dude. And I hate to admit that, but that's what he is.
And I hate to admit that too, because I wanted it to be Allen as much as you wanted it to be Jackson.
But I just want to know, out of all the other quarterbacks in the NFL that have been listed in this top 5, amongst the other dozen, what quarterback has done more with less than Lamar? He's won 2 unanimous MVPs. He is on track to be the most prolific rushing quarterback of all time. And he is arguably seen by his peers as one of the best overall football players in the NFL. I don't understand Stroud being ahead of him. I definitely don't understand Joe Burrow being ahead of him. And to a degree, I can see the argument for Allen. And Jamie, I'm going to preface this by saying, if you put Lamar Jackson on the Buffalo Bills and you put Josh Allen on the Baltimore Ravens the last 5 years, the results would not be nearly the same. You guys would probably have a Super Bowl with the team that you had built for Josh Allen.
I think the last
Josh
quarterback.
I actually would.
That's right. We had the pieces the last couple of years around Allen, and this year we're a work in progress with new guys. Because
No,
we had to
you're
redo
right.
our
But
cap.
I'm talking about the sample size of these guys both being on the rookie contracts from the same draft class. Josh Allen doesn't come to Baltimore and win a unanimous MVP with his 1 and 2 wide receivers being Seth Roberts and Willie Snead. That doesn't happen anywhere in any alternate universe. If you put Lamar Jackson in an offense where You have prime Stephon Diggs, prime, close to prime Emmanuel Sanders. You have Dawson Knox. You have that offensive line, and you have that stellar defense. Lamar probably wins a Super Bowl in Buffalo, and I'm saying that as a Baltimore Ravens fan. We don't get close to what we've been doing with Josh Allen as our quarterback. And I know that they're both good, though. They're both very good quarterbacks, but I don't see how anybody can put Lamar Jackson lower than 2.
I would beg to differ. I think if Josh Allen's in Baltimore, I think the Baltimore Ravens are in at least one Super Bowl and probably more.
What year?
Not necessarily because of what the Ravens wide receivers are, but he would have a much better coach than John Harbaugh and a more stable.
Sean McDermott's a good football coach, Dylan, and let's just say this:
Wait a minute,
Man, he's a great coach.
flip them from last year, Dylan. Put Josh Allen on the 2023 Ravens team. Do you think Josh Allen makes any more of a difference in that AFC Championship game? Because I don't.
1,000%, the Ravens win that game by double digits.
Considering that Josh Allen turns the ball over more than any quarterback in the NFL,
I don't know.
He averages at least a turnover every single game the entire 6 years he's been in the NFL. I'm not trying to down Josh Allen. And then Joe Burrow, there's no way that Joe Burrow, he has a better arm than Lamar Jackson. That is it. He's a little bit more pinpoint accuracy, but on no planet is Joe Burrow better than Lamar Jackson. And then
because he's got slim shady hair and the ladies love him. All right.
I know
that's all it is.
Okay. Let me. I'm so sorry I'm overtaking this show, and I'm so sorry that I'm on my soapbox right now. But
That's why we're on open mic.
Joe Burrow is the most overrated quarterback this generation of football.
I actually agree with that, to be honest.
Joe Burrow, we have not seen Joe Burrow on a shitty football team. We have not seen Joe Burrow on a shitty football team. He was on one of the most legendary college teams to ever grace the sport, the 2019 LSU Tigers. And then he gets drafted to the Bengals, where automatically, he gets hurt his rookie year, tears his ACL, I believe. And then who do they draft? Jamar Chase. They got T. Higgins. They got Tyler Boyd. They got Joe Mixon. They got a good offensive line. Like Joe Burrow has never played on a mediocre or lower football team. So how do you really know who Joe Burrow is?
I agree with that, actually.
Good offensive line. The guy got sacked 60-plus times 3 years in a row. What do you mean good offensive line?
That was his first 2 years, though, man. That was his first 2 years.
First 3.
Okay, first 3.
He's had shit for an offensive line his whole career.
But he's also had 3 number 1 wide receivers to produce those numbers that he's put up. Joe Burrow doesn't do that anywhere else.
But that also tells you about Joe Burrow, the quarterback, that he can make a decision and make the play just like that, because that's all the time he's got, or he's going to get steamrolled by a defensive lineman.
Please tell me that if you put Joe Burrow on the Jacksonville Jaguars, he still does the same thing. Dylan, I'm not trying to be facetious. Does Joe Burrow still do the same thing? No, he doesn't. He does not. He's had Jamar Chase as his crutch for 5 out of his last 6 seasons he's played football.
You just made the perfect comparison or the perfect answer to what you just said from me. You called Joe Burrow the most overrated quarterback of this generation.
Absolutely.
I think it's the guy in Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence is the most overrated quarterback. If Burrow goes to Jacksonville, Burrow is at least in at least one, probably a couple AFC Championship games, and maybe a Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. So now you're throwing my quarterback under the book. Wait,
your quarterback sucks. Your quarterback is $55 million of mediocrity.
Just let everyone know.
Mediocre, yes. But I'm not saying he sucks.
Now, by the way, Matt, I just looked it up. Lamar Jackson's playoff touchdown interception ratio: six touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Josh Allen playoff touchdown interception ratio: 21 touchdowns, 4 picks.
And has Josh Allen touched an AFC Championship game at all?
Once.
He did 2020.
Once. Okay, Lamar's been there. Lamar's been there twice. Okay, I'll give it. Okay, I'll give it to you.
One of the greatest games ever, right? Wasn't that the 13-second touchdown?
No, that was the next year.
Oh, my bad.
Where the defense blew it, not Josh Allen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the year Josh
You
Allen.
can't put that one on Josh Allen. That's not Josh Allen's fault. The fact that defense all of a sudden became nacho cheese, that's not Josh Allen's fault.
I hear you because back in 2019 when we lost to Tennessee, everybody puts that loss on Lamar Jackson.
Right.
And people forget that Lamar Jackson had 510 all-purpose yards that game and scored all of our touchdowns.
He did.
And the defense decided that they were going to shit the bed that night.
It's because Derrick Henry ran all over your defense.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Lamar Jackson's not out there playing defense.
That's the problem with that. That's obviously, Matt. You and I think factually and everything. The quarterback gets all the glory and all the blame, and everybody thinks your quarterback is supposed to play every position, and it doesn't work that way.
And you're right. You guys are both right. That's why we've talked about this on previous shows. Football is the ultimate team game. There is no one guy that can take over and be responsible for the winning or losing of a football game. Baseball, you can have a pitcher that goes bananas and just shuts the other team down. All you got to do is score a run and you win. Or you have a hitter that goes 4 for 4, 5 for 5, drives in 6 or 7 runs, and they dominate the game. Hockey, you get a hot goalie, forget it. You get a guy in basketball that's just nailing the shots all night long, they can dominate the game. You can't do that in football, mainly because, like Matt just said, Matt or Jamie, I don't remember which one, you're not playing both sides of the ball.
I said that basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't, it's very tough to put one individual as the responsible party for a win or a loss.
Now, I will disagree with you guys a little bit. I've got CJ Stroud. What do I have? Stroud on my list. Stroud is number 9 on my list.
Way too low.
I want to see more of CJ Stroud this year before I'm annoying him the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I know, Dylan, that's hard because everybody saw his rookie season, and that was it. He's an outlier for that because most quarterbacks don't come in and dominate like that their rookie year like he did.
I want to see him.
It's not just that though.
Dylan, where do you have Brock Purdy?
He was another outlier too. Nobody thought that as a
honestly
irrelevant that he was
John.
Anything. And Trey Lance would have been the starting quarterback if he didn't get hurt.
Hold on.
Honestly, John, I have him about 15 or 16.
Brock Purdy's not 15. Dylan, what football are you watching?
Piss me off. It's fine.
Dylan, what football are you watching, my dude?
The same one you all. The same
Dylan. Oh, I want to hear his answer. Dylan, what football are you watching to where Brock Purdy is a middle of the road quarterback?
I'm basing it on talent and who I would have if I needed to win a game. And Brock Purdy's like an average, below average talent.
He was literally the last draft pick of his class and has produced more than that sack of shit you got in Jacksonville.
Well,
Where do you have Trevor
Mac Jones like that.
wait a minute. Well,
Where do you have Trevor Lawrence?
7.
Get the hell out of here, Dylan.
No.
There's no goddamn way.
Purdy is over. And this is outsider looking in. Purdy is over Dak Prescott, and Purdy is definitely over Trevor Lawrence.
And by the way,
Purdy's top 10. He may be the bottom of the top 10, but he's top 10.
And by the way,
7, 8, 9.
5, top 6.
Huh?
I had him top 5, top 6.
Purdy is like number 8 or 9 at worst.
And by the way,
7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. I'd really have to think about it.
Like he is
in my top 12 quarterback rankings right now.
All right,
Look,
hold on. Let's hear this.
Oh God, it's bold take, everybody. Zing, 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 zing.
Mahomes, Allen, 1 Patrick Mahomes, 2 Josh Allen, 3 Joe Burrow, 4 Lamar, 5 Matthew Stafford, 6 Justin Herbert,
He's overrated too. Good Lord.
7 Trevor. By the way, watching in a year or two, the Chargers are going to be in the Super Bowl with Harbaugh coaching.
Okay, go
I'll
on.
reserve
7 Trevor Lawrence,
Picked the wrong week to stop drinking.
8 Jared Goff,
No.
I'm not sure if I want to hear 9.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud is better than 6 through 8 on your list.
You had you. How do you think Jared Goff's better than C.J. Stroud?
Everybody compared CJ Stroud with Jared Goff coming out of college.
Jared Goff's like 30 years old now, dude.
But the thing is, okay. So you got CJ Stroud sitting at 9. Who else do you have in front of Brock Purdy? Because this is absurd. I'm like, this is like, you should go to the gulag for this shit, Dylan.
You got Garoppolo ahead of
I
you.
have Kyler at 10, Jordan Love 11,
You
Jalen
had
Hurts
Tyler
at
Murray
12.
at 10.
I have Kyler at 10.
This is egregious. This is absolutely egregious. This is I don't get this.
Kyler Murray at 10. Wow.
I'm crying.
Kyler Murray, he's still like, he still hasn't grown into his big boy body yet. Like, this dude, like, he should have played baseball.
John's in tears. I
He
love
hasn't
it.
grown into his big boy body. He's not gonna get any taller than 5'9" or 5'11".
Man, he
Wait, hold
is
on.
like 5'7".
I'm sorry, Matt wasn't here last week. Adam, can you inform Matt of the bet that me and Dylan have if this upcoming NFL season, just so Matt is on board with it?
What bet are we on here? The Niners don't make the playoffs was Dylan's bet. What was your bet, John?
I don't know. He's going to lose either way. So it doesn't matter. Did you write it down?
He also has the Chargers going what, a 12-5,
11-6.
11-6.
Dylan, respectfully, are you like, how are you coming up with this stuff?
Matt,
Honestly,
we all worked through this last week. Just to let you know.
honestly, Matt, here's what I'm seeing with the Niners. There's always a Super Bowl hangover with the team that loses the Super Bowl. That team always seems to regress a little bit. Deal with injuries.
Even win.
Haven't they been in 5 straight AFC champion or NFC championship games?
Yes,
Am I
But-
missing something? I'm
but
pretty sure
Yes,
they still
yeah,
have.
but
Coach
the
K's got all
Niners
the
are
draw.
a very old team, and San Francisco was lucky health-wise last
Oh,
year.
no.
All the big guys were there in the Super Bowl. Christian McCaffrey's already dealing with a calf injury. George Kittle's seemingly playing with like 18 injuries. Who knows if Brandon Ayuk is in San Francisco?
We don't know
People
that.
always hurt, and Trent Williams is holding out and hurt anyway. Plus, Nick Bosa's had ACLs on both knees.
So you're telling me they're not making the playoffs on a whole bunch of what ifs, has-beens, could be?
No,
Because
I'm saying
where's the fact in any of that? Kittle's not injured. It's a calf
Wow.
strain. He's a calf strain. He's all set. He's just not playing the preseason. Dana had
What
said that in the
smoke
last press
shop have
conference.
you been to, Dylan?
I'm just saying.
What do we-
This was
They're an
one-
old team. Where do they rank? Where do they rank age-wise in the NFL? Do you know they're in the top? They're in the top 12 of age. Top 12. So that's old. Where do you got to be? The top 4 not to be considered?
I
old?
mean, I think everybody's glossing over the fact that they play in like the division with like the Maryland School for the Blind, Little Sisters of the Poor.
oh, it's okay.
because-
Dylan has them losing the NFC West too. Don't worry. Keep going. Keep
Like
the takes
the
coming.
NFC West is pretty. They would probably go under 500 to the SEC. Like, come on, Dylan. Dylan,
We gotta
you're my buddy, Dylan, but this is wild. Like I know that I haven't joined this show for Oba and Mike much, but you're just let whatever fly. I'm sure the strippers at the strip club convince you that they love you, don't they?
Matt, remember what I said last week that made John laugh? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Dylan,
Listen, you
you're
win that bet, I'll
funny
get
as
you a
shit.
money gun, Dylan.
Dylan, you're funny as shit, my dude. Because there's no way San Francisco misses the playoffs. They might. There's nobody in front of them that can formidably take them out of the NFC Championship game if the season started tomorrow.
Wait a minute.
They're
wait a
not
minute.
missing the playoffs.
Wait.
Too,
Out of the
because
NFC
Christian McCaffrey
Championship
married Olivia
game?
Culpo.
Detroit might have a shot. Detroit looks good.
Detroit,
I
yeah.
would like to see a
Yeah,
rematch
Detroit.
of
Look
Detroit.
at look at this bozo. Look at this bozo in the comment here. He's got
Tua.
he's got 2 on there.
Hey, let's be fair. That's my co-host for my baseball show.
Maybe we don't
I
refer
love-
to our fans as bozos.
Now, granted,
Hey,
I've got,
hey.
I've got
I didn't know
cousins
that.
12.
Matt,
Hey,
I apologize. I didn't know
no.
that.
He's fine. He I know he eats crayons sometimes. It's cool. We went to the same high school.
If he's eating
but-
crayons and Dylan's sniffing markers, I'm
But
just saying.
We're
hey,
eating glue.
but I don't necessarily agree with Tua because I think Tua's a noodle arm. He's like a left-handed Russ, Tim, you're not making this shit any better. Please stop. Please stop.
I mean, Tua turned the ball over
I'm
is
gonna watch
not
2 on there.
gonna.
Look at what he put, and I hate the Dolphins.
Anything's possible.
And then this comment after all that, I hate the Dolphins. I love them.
But I get anxious when I'm holding my mic like this. I need to understand how you
Or
put
you-
like I'm not even a 49ers fan. The 49ers are some of the best games I remember watching as a Ravens fan. We kicked their ass on Thanksgiving a couple years ago. We decimated them on Christmas last year. We beat them in the Super Bowl. Like, John, I'm sorry, but like that's a lot of fond memories playing San Francisco. But I watched Brock Purdy all last year, every chance I could that he was on TV. That man is a top 10 quarterback, and he's going.
Me and Matt did a show last year. We talked about Niners and Ravens. We were one game each away from the Ravens. Were one game away from it being Ravens and
look.
Chiefs.
If the NFL didn't want Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl so goddamn bad, it'd have been us.
Yep.
But I digress. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because.
But I mean, and by the way, part of me thinks, and here's why I think the Niners don't win. I think the Rams. I think the Rams have a better quarterback.
No, absolutely not. I'm stopping you right there. Matthew
Stetson
Stafford.
Bennett, the guy who looks like Screech from
Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's being held together by
now.
paper clips and duct tape right now.
Wait a minute, and he went toe to toe with you Ravens in Baltimore.
You're
And
going
he
to talk
lost.
injury and tell me
He
that he is
lost.
a better quarterback?
He lost because Devin Duvernay returned the punt for a touchdown.
It was Tylen
He's
Wallace.
so much better than Brock Purdy.
No,
He's so much
close enough.
Whoa. No. The who? The Rams?
Yeah. I think the Rams win.
Okay, I'm gonna run 5 names past you guys, and you guys all tell me if you know who any of the hell of them are. Alaric Jackson, Jonah Jackson, Rob Halberstein, Kevin Dotson, or Steve Avila.
I know all of them.
You're the only
That's
one.
the knights in shining armor protecting the paper champion behind the quarterback, behind that offensive line.
Hey, it's better. Hey, I think Matt will be fine. I trust Sean McVay.
Pretty boy.
You do know that Matt Stafford is stapled into the pocket, right? He's like Troy Aikman. He drops back and his feet automatically nailed to the floor.
It's like
Every
the old
time I
metal
think of
booth
Sean
in
McVay, I
prison.
just think of all I ever wanted,
So
and
what?
all I ever needed by the Backstreet Boys.
So what? By the way, John, I made a bet. I've got 49ers money line week 1 against the Jets because I think Aaron Rodgers will be black and blue by the end of that game.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Aaron Rodgers is going to need more darkness.
Hey, picking the 49ers in week 1 does not make up for all the shit you just said. It
Like I said, It's a
doesn't.
good pick. I'm not going to deny a good pick. Listen, it's a good bet. It's a good bet.
If
Look,
there's a team in the
So,
NFC West that
Plug,
could
Wade
surprise
Wire betting
anybody,
show coming this football season. They can have each of you guys on every week.
John, that could
There's
have
a
been
team that surprises anybody. It's going in the NFC West. It's going to be Arizona.
Even
If there's a team,
I
that's
mean,
gonna
yeah, out of
surprise
all the teams,
I
yeah,
think
Arizona.
Seattle.
Yeah, Arizona.
I think Seattle.
Kyler Murray's got to be healthy though, because
It-
you don't want Clayton Tune starting.
Good old 15-foot
Dylan.
drop back to see over the O line. Yeah,
Hey,
Kyler Murray.
Dylan, do you put Daniel
Nobody
Jones
wants
in
their
front of,
backup though, Jamie.
Do you put Daniel Jones in front of Brock Purdy?
No.
I was about to leave the show if you said yes. I was going to log off and literally go to bed if you would have told me that Daniel Jones is better than him. Because I would have definitely went upstairs and went to sleep.
No, but he's dating Kay Adams now, so he's a winner.
And I would have
there.
told Adam I'm never coming back on this open mic again if you sat there and said Danny Dimes is better than Brock Purdy. I
But
had to
he's
know.
getting the dimes with Kay Adams on Good Morning. The former host of
Just
Good
because he's
Morning
knocking down a hot chick doesn't mean he's worth anything.
So wait,
Even a
Just look at Aaron Rodgers.
The quarterback.
Hey.
That's lucky.
So wait, Jamie, I thought. Wait, isn't Josh
Not
broken
Brady.
clock
Allen
is
hanging
still
out
right
with
twice
Haley
a day.
Steinfeld?
With life.
Isn't Josh Allen hanging out with Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah, buddy, you know he is.
Matt. I was watching highlights.
Is this open mic or TMZ?
What?
Is this open mic or TMZ?
It's
Both.
anything
And by the
goes.
way,
It's
Matt-
Mike, Matt.
By the way, Matt, I also predicted the Commanders to win the NFC East.
It
Go
feels like
home.
it's hurting
You're drunk.
Dylan top takes.
Go home.
You said the Commanders, right?
Go home, Dylan. You're drunk.
I'm not drinking.
Whatever cleaning
Dylan.
products
The
you use to clean your
Commanders-
house, open a window.
Okay.
Open a window.
I'm not
Respect the
saying-
day.
How about
John,
this,
you
Dylan?
went out. Well,
I know
John, you
you're in
went out
Florida.
on a
And
limb on the
bath
last
salts are
one.
real.
Yeah,
What?
John, you went out on a limb on the last one. I'll go out on a limb on this one. If the Commanders win that division, I will wear a Cowboys shirt on this show.
I'll wear a
You heard it
Guardian.
here, folks. Mark it down.
Rich, who's
We're just
your,
making all the
who's your
bets.
favorite team anyway?
I'll order a Guardian cap off of eBay and wear it if the Commanders.
Rich, who's your
We each should put
who's
5
team
pennies
you
together
rock
and
with,
we'll get one of those hats.
Sir,
What?
This is my first time being on air with you, Rich. Who's your team?
I'm a Steelers guy. I'm the biggest Cowboys hater in Texas.
Okay.
I say it on the air as much as I can, and I have very valid reasons for it, and it drives the Cowboy fans crazy because
Adam,
I logically
you
tell them why they suck.
Sneaky bastard. Adam, is this your
But
co-host?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
My man.
by the way,
Okay, I respect it.
We get Jason on here too. Jason Smithberg and Evan, obviously, you know, is a Cleveland Browns fan.
John's usually here too.
Say again, Matt.
No, I was just.
Joe's actually up.
I
Joe's
respect
usually
it.
here,
You
too.
know, I respect it. I work in a profession in Maryland to where I go out to Western Maryland a lot. So I'm in Steelers country, up in Oakland County and Cumberland and Deep Creek and all that. I know Cumberland kind of like mirrors Pittsburgh, you know, blue collar steel mill towns. But I respect that you're from there and you root for the team there, just like everybody else here. But yeah, Adam, you're real slick getting your co-host in here. I didn't know he was your co-host.
I'll tell you what, though, Matt. I did radio on the Eastern Shore for about a year and a half. I was out in Cambridge.
Oh,
And,
okay. So you did sports radio?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago were you over in Cambridge?
Oh gosh, it's been about 12 years.
Did you
It
cover
was right
Salisbury?
after Sean. Yeah, it was right after Sean Sharif left.
Okay, so 12 years ago, yeah, that puts him in college. I just interviewed Johnny Rodriguez last night, the Salisbury goalie that was an All-American in 2011.
Very good.
He was just
cool.
diagnosed with ALS last September. So
That's a vicious disease too, man.
yeah, because he went directly from Salisbury to the Atlanta Blaze Major League Lacrosse team. He got drafted and he played in the pros for like 8 years. That's interesting. That you
learned
were
more
on the
about
Eastern
that.
Shore.
It's funny. I learned more about that sport in the 16 months I was there, times 10 than I knew walking in.
It's crazy.
I
because
had the very
Maryland-
basic. I had the very basics of it in that, but hanging out with people there, man.
Maryland's a lacrosse state, and nobody knows it. Everybody thinks football or baseball, but they are basketball. But Maryland is one of
lacrosse.
the hotbeds for lacrosse in the entire country.
Yeah, Yeah, I found that out very quickly when I got in there.
I love
and of course,
lacrosse, but I'm
being
kind
a
of a
Texas
lax bro.
guy, it's high school football. And we did high school football in that, but boy, man, lacrosse, it was like every time you turned around, it was lacrosse this, lacrosse that. Okay.
I'll tell you right now, man. I had a dream like after watching Friday Night Lights the movie of playing at Permian High School. Like I wanted to be an offensive lineman for the Permian Panthers, and my parents wouldn't move to Texas. So
The sophomore year, we played Permian in the playoffs and got mollywopped.
mollywopped. That is one of my favorite words. There you go.
Well, I'm keeping it clean since it's a family friendly show.
Pop
Oh,
Molly, I'm sweating. Huh.
Darn it.
Is this thing on?
This is getting ready to be on.
Is this thing on?
Darn it.
Yeah, Matt. That's why I asked
But-
you if you wanted to have Tim. That's why I was asking if you wanted Tim to come on. This is the in network. Occasionally we get outside guests. That's what we try to do.
Tim. I'm not worried about Tim. I'm worried about Tim's wife hopping on here. So we ain't gotta do that.
No.
We need Stephanie. Stephanie's good. I finally got to meet her last night.
Yeah, it was the other night, Sunday night. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to talk about any of what was discussed, but
Very intriguing.
Hey, Jamie, I think could Aaron Judge and Juan Soto be the first Yankee teammates to each hit 40 home runs in a season since Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris in 1961?
Yeah, I believe so. And that's when Maris hit 61 and 61.
Yeah, the man will hit 54.
they're going to do all that and still lose in the. They're still going to lose in the wild card series.
Hey,
Mhm.
Matt, were you ultimately surprised that the Orioles didn't make a move for like one of the big name stars or relievers at the deadline?
Okay. Now now that we're switching to baseball, because I've been in baseball mode for the better part of the last 3 months.
Thank goodness.
Everybody that I assume everybody in here likes baseball as well.
Yep.
The
yeah.
absurdity that these teams were asking for return prospects for relievers, the Orioles were never going to cough up what they had for a middle relief guy. Now, not landing Crochet or Skubal, okay. Skubal's already had 2 elbow injuries. He's definitely a game changer. But I talked to somebody that I know in the Orioles organization, and I'll never, obviously never reveal who it is, but they were close enough to the situation. The Tigers asked for Jackson Holliday, Samuel Basayo, Heston Kjerstad, Kobe Mayo, and a major league ready outfielder. All that for Skubal. No way.
Great.
No way. There's no way that happens. Garrett Crochet he's already pitched past his innings limit for his entire career, and he wants an extension without having a lot of proof in the pudding for what he's asking for. I'm not mad about it. I'm more mad at the fact that we added Eflin and Rogers, and then immediately Grayson Rodriguez goes on the 15-day IL. That's what I'm upset about. I think that we made a lot of good moves. Seranthony Dominguez from the Phillies was an absolute steal. Soto can go pitch for literally anybody but us. But I like the Eloy Jimenez move. He seems to have found his stroke again. I like everything that the Orioles did. I'm not trying to be a homer. I didn't agree with what we gave up for some of these guys because it was a little rich. And it just so happened we traded Norby away to Miami. And then maybe more or less a couple days after the Norby trade, Jordan Westburg got hit on the hand and he's going to miss the next 2 months. So it's all a what if, but I'm okay with the Orioles not giving up their entire future for one of these arms. And it also helps tremendously that Jackson Holliday is one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now.
I wouldn't have done that, Matt. That's a lot to give up for people.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing: if Scooball has another elbow injury, you're talking about 2026. So you mortgage your entire farm system for not seeing somebody until 2026 after their second or third major elbow surgery.
Dylan, yes, get the blue check mark.
Shay's the biggest wuss on two legs, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I wouldn't want him on my team. He's not showing me any heart at all. He doesn't want to go to a different team that's going to be in the playoffs because he'll have to pitch too many innings. Listen, Nolan Ryan threw 800 pitches and all this in a week and 40 innings and all that, and it didn't matter. It wasn't that long ago that guys were pitching 150, 175 pitches a game, throwing 9 innings. You only had a reliever because you occasionally had to. That wasn't that many years ago. All this stuff that now it's a 5-inning start. They're even talking. I saw this one come down the other day and my brain almost exploded. Major League Baseball is talking about changing the rule that in order to qualify for a win, you only have to go 4 innings. It's less than half the damn game.
Why would you even pay starting pitchers at that point?
Can't hear you, Adam.
Why would you even want to pay starting pitchers at that point if you only have to pitch 4 innings?
Exactly. Starting pitchers should go no less than 6.
Be honest with you, I think what's happening, guys are throwing too hard, too soon, throwing with all kinds of mechanics, and these teams are basically like, we want you as a sprinter, not a marathon. Because how could Steve Coleman throw 300 innings? Steve Coleman was the last guy to throw 300 innings in 1980. Now, guys,
I can explain this to you, Matt. You were on the soapbox before. I'll get on mine now. It's entirely 1,000% the way their kids are being brought up. Remember whenever you played your baseball season, then you moved on to football or basketball or whatever was next, and you did something else. Now these kids are playing year-round, playing travel ball and select and all that kind of craziness, and they're playing, in essence, 3 seasons worth of ball in one 12-month period. So by the time you get these kids into high school, they've already played enough games. They should be in college. They've thrown enough pitches. They should be up to college level by the time they're getting to high school. Not to mention the fact that I've been watching. My son-in-law is an umpire now, and I've been tournament directing on some games. There are kids that are 10 and 11 years old snapping curveballs. They're not developed enough to be able to do that. I saw kids that had Tommy John surgery at 12 because they're tearing their arms up.
It's absurd.
They're getting worn out too early, and they're not spending time doing other sports, and their bodies are not built. They're not fully grown yet, and they're not able to get that health through, and they're not able to sustain themselves for 120, 130 pitches.
And Rich, I'll say this because it happened to me. My first love was baseball. I played t-ball from the time I was 3, and I played baseball all the way until the time I was 14. I played in local rec leagues and travel leagues in my neighborhood for the most part, and then a more prominent statewide travel team recruited me to come try out for them, and I was pitching at that time, and I went up to the tryout, and my dad didn't want me to do anything crazy. My dad was like, just go up there and throw the best way you can. Don't do anything out of the ordinary. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to tell these dudes I know how to throw multiple pitches. I was 12 years old. I went to my tryout. I threw about 15 or 16 fastballs. And then the coach was like, do you have an off-speed pitch? I said, yeah, I can throw a changeup. So I just did my normal thing. I just did a changeup grip. I threw it like a fastball. Had a little bit of movement. They were like, do you got a breaking ball? Mind you, this is a grown man asking me, 12 years old, can you throw a breaking ball? Of course. What am I going to say? I wanted to make the team. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to do that. I threw 20 consecutive curveballs, thinking I knew how to snap my arm and my shoulder the proper way. The next morning I woke up, I couldn't lift my arm above my rib cage, and I ended up going to the doctor, and they diagnosed me separating my growth plate from my collarbone and my shoulder bone. I couldn't throw a baseball for 14 months.
Yep.
And
See,
I could never throw the same again.
When I was brought in this, I'm 53, just for everybody's knowledge.
You look
But
great.
when I was brought up doing this,
Rich.
you were I'm the old timer. I get it. You were taught to throw a curveball this way, off the curve of the ball. If you threw it with the horseshoe that way, it curved that way. If you threw it with the horseshoe that way, it went the other way. And you still kept the same fastball grip, fastball motion, the whole works. It was all dependent on your grip on the ball and where you had the ball. I wasn't allowed to throw a curveball until I was 15, except for this particular way. These kids now that are, and Matt, you're a perfect example. Their growth plates they're not finished growing. They haven't fully developed yet. They have no need to be able to snap these balls off like that. They're playing 12, 13, 14-year-old ball. Fastball, curve, fastball, changeup. Okay. That's all you really need to get through this. If you learn how to throw, if you have a natural tail on your pitch or whatever, that's great. But that's one of the biggest parts of the problem. The other part is them not getting any time off. They're not getting time for their bodies to rejuvenate themselves and allow the body to regenerate all the muscles and all the wear and tear that they've taken through the whole season that they were just in, whether they're pitching or not.
I get it. I totally get it. And I'll never understand how so many kids are one sport athletes these days. I can just off the top of my head, I played football, baseball, lacrosse, rugby, all before the age of 18. Like I was always playing a different sport. One sport athletes are it's torturous.
I always wanted to play rugby, and that wasn't the thing in Pennsylvania or in Texas. But yeah, I mean, I played baseball, basketball, football. I even played tennis 2 years in high school. That kind of stuff. Everybody did. You went from one to the next to the next to the next. You didn't stick with one sport the whole time, and you didn't run into these issues either. So
right.
I mean, what happened to the days where Deion Sanders would play football and baseball in the same weekend?
Or Bo Jackson.
I mean, you're talking about two people that are exception to the rule.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's be realistic. There's only been 3 guys that have been able to do that. Deion, Bo, and Brian Jordan. Outside of those 3, yeah, let's not, that. Then you run into the Michael Jordan baseball and basketball thing.
Could it also be that these teams, like, I don't know what it is, but the Dodgers have so many guys with elbow and shoulder injuries. The Rays have so many guys. Could it be that certain teams have more injuries than others? I mean, like the Orioles have multiple guys with TJ.
Oh,
I don't even want to get
started. I don't even want to get started.
It's across the league, man. If you look at it, it's across the league. If you look at the numbers of arm injuries over the last, let's say, 30 years, they are exponentially bigger. It's not a gradual. They're exponentially bigger than what they were, let's say, 1994 compared to today.
Are we hitting a dead period or is something going on?
No, I'm looking up. I'm even seeing like Tommy John is becoming, and I mean, back in the day, if you would have Tommy John, your elbow would be fixed. Now it's like some guys need like another Tommy John or a brace to the UCL.
You know why they're having to get Tommy John a second time so quickly, Dylan?
Because of this stat right
Because they're
here.
getting rushed back. And that's part of the problem, Tim. That's exactly part of the problem. That's they're looking at, they're expecting these kids at 12, 13, 14 years old to do that. And that's the biggest problem that's out there.
Yeah, do you think Ray Mannix or Tom Glavine could pitch in today's era, because both those guys didn't throw hard, but yet it seems like everybody wants fastball and either sweeper, slider, or sweeper, slider. This sweeper pitch doesn't make sense.
Just a big breaking ball.
Oh man.
Oh, did anybody see pictures of Keenan Allen looking like he's 230 pounds?
I like Keenan Allen.
I don't think there are three better route runners in football than Keenan. And one of them might be the guy in Baltimore, Mark Andrews. I'm not kidding, man. Mark Andrews is one of my highest owned tight ends in best ball this year.
Adam, look at your messenger.
Messenger.
Have you told the guys yet?
Matt has lost Wi-Fi. Tim, what is Matt supposed to tell us?
Here you go.
And Matt went away.
Matt's Wi-Fi died.
Oh man, Tim, did you sip into something that Dylan has? Jesus. Okay, Tim. We can finally get by Kansas City. I'll believe it. Take down Mahomes.
Tim is Matt's partner. You guys do know
I know.
that, right?
Oh, I know. Oh, that's why I'm talking shit. Listen, I'm not even a hater. Me and Matt were on last year, preseason. Actually, I think it was week 2 we were on. And we had it Ravens and
Matt's done then, right? Or is he gonna
that was how we called it. I got mine right, but
yeah, and I thought the Steelers were going to beat the 49ers week 1 and look like an idiot.
I did not have the Niners losing to the Steelers in week 1. But I also didn't have Brandon Ayuk having a huge game in week 1 either.
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk absolutely destroyed the defense last year in that game.
John, where'd you go?
Oh, I'm right here.
And
I
Kenny
like to laugh. I like to laugh.
Where Matt ran
My
off.
mom
to.
taught me not to laugh, and when you're on. Yes, I'm taking a minute.
and
Yeah,
then,
Ayuk had a great week 1. It was a great week 1 that he had.
There
It was
you are.
awesome.
and then Kenny Pickett peed his pants the whole year.
Yeah.
There were so many Niner podcasters here. It was crazy. Crazy.
Looks
Did
like
you-
Matt ditched us. So.
I
Anyway,
already got some people that follow Chair Shot that want to get on. Big people out in California, some big followers, some big names, some big want to get on. So we'll have some roundtables, talk about some games, maybe some post game, maybe a couple shows before pregame. So excited for that.
we're in.
The only game I care about, because I know they're going to make the playoffs. Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. The only game I care about is the New England San Francisco game.
So John, is
They
Dom
call-
gonna get his ass whooped, or when is this happening? I can't wait to watch.
Oh, I was going to still talking about football. Just jump into WWE like that? All right.
I had to get this question off my chest. It's been on there for since you entered the room.
I think, and Rich again. I know wrestling. I don't know who does what and who remembers what from back in the day. I think what we're watching here is we're watching a double swerve. I don't think Dom willingly went to live. The stuff he was saying on Monday night made no sense. Made me call you mom. That was his choice, and all this other stuff he's saying. I think he went to live to give her this false bravado, to give her this feel safe. I have Dom. And I think eventually he's going to turn back to go to her, which she's going to deny him because he did the dirty work for her, got her distracted or whatever. She wins the belt back, and she ends up knocking his ass out. But I think we're in for a double turn, which hasn't happened in a long time. So I think this is exactly where Triple H and Nick are going to have that go. I think he's going to get his ass kicked, whatever pay-per-view. I don't know if you'll be able to milk it out to WrestleMania. I know that I know Survivor Series. You already have a mixed tag match to test the waters at Bash in Berlin. I think you're going to see Bloodline. Geez, that's on SmackDown. You're going to see Judgment Day 2.0 versus the OG, the Terror Twins, whoever they get together with them, and you're going to see that in Survivor Series, and then SmackDown you get the Bloodline, all that good stuff. So,
I've got a question for everybody. I think we know who the best coach in the NFL is. Who's the worst coach in the NFL?
I know Adam's answer. Oh! I know Adam's answer.
Gerard Mayo.
We can't hear you, man.
Me?
I'm gonna answer this question.
Adam.
There's one obvious candidate, and I wonder if you guys can get him.
The worst coach in the NFL.
Do I have okay, wait, Dylan, before we go down this road, do I have parameters? Am I looking at, like, what do you mean worst? Overall, percentage, winning? What are we looking at here? I need parameters here. In our opinions, anyone can be the worst coach. What are my parameters? What am I judging?
I'll tell you who the worst coach is. You don't even have to look at record. Dennis Allen. I mean, the Saints had no.
So you're going off of record.
NFC South last year.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Dennis Allen with his strange thing, like how certain guys aren't playing, and now it's like I don't know. Like Dennis Allen is just so bad. How the Saints kept him when the Titans got rid of Mike Vrabel just befuddled me.
Hey fellas, I know my Wi-Fi cut out. I had a power surge in my house. I don't know what happened, but I just wanted to pop back in and let you guys know I'm cutting out for the night.
Matt, hold on. Just to let you know, Tim asked this while you were gone.
That's hilarious. Oh, it's about the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree with Tim. I agree with my co-host. But I wanted to thank you guys for having me on the open mic. It was cool talking with all you guys, but I gotta be up in 6 hours, so I gotta wind down.
Go get
him. You're going to connect soon for football and for some wrestling stuff coming up at the end of the year. I'll be in touch.
Absolutely, man. I'm more than down for all that. Y'all be safe, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Toodles.
Matt, have a good one, buddy.
Good to meet you, Matt.
Likewise, Rich.
Dying over here.
And by the way, the Ravens beat the Chiefs week 1 in Arrowhead.
He's gone. Hey, look at Detroit. They beat Kansas City week 1 in Arrowhead last year. Not far off.
Can I throw two other names out there for this worst coach thing that we're talking about?
What?
Raheem Morris and Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, man.
No, Raheem Morris and the Falcons are going to win the NFC South this year.
Say again?
Raheem Morris and the Falcons are going to win the NFC South this year.
With Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix, dude?
Either one's better than anybody else.
Baker gonna have a
Are you forgetting about the team in Florida?
Yes.
You're forgetting about Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Baker's gonna have a relapse because now he got a contract and he's gonna play possibly relaxed football and like he did in Cleveland.
Tampa's not winning the division again.
Okay, I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this. Why? Why are they not winning the division?
Atlanta's better. They've got a better quarterback, a better team around Kirk Cousins.
I'm not doubting that they've got a better quarterback and they've got a better, they've added some things, but you've also got the cluster that is Raheem Morris coaching this team.
Raheem Morris is
The guy-
fine. He was with Sean McVay. I like Zach Robinson as the offensive coordinator. The Falcons are going to get Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson the ball.
Yeah, Raheem Morris was with Sean McVay. Let's remember that.
Yes, but as we also know, not all branches of the tree flower.
I don't know. The coach in San Francisco's done pretty well.
Yeah, Cal Shanahan definitely has the best coaching tree out there. Period.
Yeah, he
John,
does.
you're on mute.
Well, Andy Reid too.
And
Sure.
one of them belongs to my team.
Yeah.
And by the way, there is one other one out there for this worst coach thing, and this is going to really put a pin in Dylan's balloon. Dan Quinn is a horrible head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. He's a god awful head coach.
Agreed.
I
Sorry.
don't know. I mean, 28-3 is not 28-3, but I don't know.
Kyle Shanahan was Dan Quinn's offensive coordinator at Atlanta.
I mean, part of me. I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm seeing Washington as like Jacksonville from 22 or Houston last year, but there's always a surprise.
Dan
I like-
Quinn, listen, he's not that great of a head coach, but he's an upgrade over Ron Rivera. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you what. I like Jaden Daniels. I think Cliff Kingsbury as the OC. I think the Commanders are going to play fast. I think they run the ball, and defensively, I think the Commanders could be this year's Houston Texans.
Quinn allows Kingsbury to do what Kingsbury can do. That'll be fine. If Dan Quinn decides he's the head coach and not the head coach who's a defensive specialist, then they're going to have a problem. Because if Dan Quinn starts trying to design or do anything with that offense, they're going to be screwed blue and tattooed. But the defense is going to play fine. Offensively, yeah. I mean, you bring in Austin Eckler, that if he stays healthy, that makes a big difference. You've got Jaden Daniels there. Could it make a difference? Yes. Are they going to win the division? No.
Yeah, they will.
Are they going to be better? Yeah. Are they going to be better? Yes. Are they going to win the division? No. But I still think Dan Quinn's a lousy head coach.
And
Wait,
Johan Johnson,
wait.
who else?
So wait,
Johan Johnson and who
you
else?
trust Nick Sirianni? You trust Nick Sirianni in that division?
Who else is Jaden
Adam,
Daniels?
your mic's not close enough.
Who else is Jaden Daniels trying to ball to?
Terry McLaurin, Jahan
See what he did in
Dobson.
the preseason game where he checked that pass over. He checked it and he threw a bomb for a touchdown as a rookie quarterback. That's what a good quarterback does. Jaden Daniels.
I mean, they're going to be better, obviously.
That was a veteran play he made in the preseason where he checked over the play and audible and threw a bomb after that.
These guys are just playing simple defense just to get their foot back in the football mode. These guys aren't even playing defense yet. So hard to judge preseason. So dumb.
I take
actually.
no stock in preseason whatsoever.
Like, I couldn't even tell you anything. Like, I
None.
know Tank Dell got a touchdown on Friday against the Steelers because it was on the radio whenever I was near radio. I was like, why is Tank Dell even playing?
Even when I draft people, it's not like, oh, well, they have this situation. This guy's throwing. No. What'd you do last year? What'd you do the year before that? What'd you do in these conditions, these teams? What's your schedule look like? Looking at preseason and going, that's trash. It's a crapshoot.
The only thing
No one's
preseason
going
shows
100%. No
you,
one's going 100% in preseason. Nobody.
yeah, the only thing the
New
preseason
England-
shows you is what your backups look like.
Up here in New England, right? So Drake May played one series.
That's
Get in my
it.
car this morning. Yeah. Listen, this Drake guy, he's trash. Let him go. Get Brissett in there. Brissett needs to play. Gotta go get a quarterback arm to back him up. One series. What are we doing? There's no stop it. Go outside, touch grass. Stop it. See some sun. Stop it. Jesus Christ. Put the goalie anniversary down. Put the O'Douls down. Go outside. Go do something on your porch. Go mow the lawn. Stop it. If you're putting that much stock in a kid, Third round pick, one series. You're telling me to get rid of him? Smoking stuff, bro. Jeez.
I mean, be honest with you, if it were me,
Sounds like
I'm not
Cowboy
even
fan.
looking at
The
Drake.
guy had a no, John. I
Hold on,
watched
hold on.
him at Pat McAfee show today. The guy had a Josh Allen bomb play in the joint practice. Drake made that.
I'm not looking at what Drake May does this year. I'm looking at what Drake May does next. New England might have the worst receiving core in the league, outside maybe New York.
It's a young receiving core. It's a lot of
And yet you guys wanted Harrison Jr. Okay.
That's why the Patriots should have drafted a quarterback. A wide receiver, excuse me.
So take Harrison. You just said they have the worst wide receiver core. So you're going to get the best guy there who's going to get pretty much triple teamed anytime he's on the field. You're going to throw it to these dunces. They're going to dink and dunk your way down. This isn't Tom Brady anymore. Maine can't do that. You just made my point. You could put Harrison as the crown jewel who's going to get double, triple teamed anywhere he goes in the field between the marks on the sideline. And you're going to throw it to these dunces who suck. It means he's going to dink and dunk his 5-10 yards. They'll sniff that out by week 3 if he's even upright for more than one or two seconds with that line they have. It just doesn't make any sense to get Harrison. He would have just.
John, you even brought up.
Guys, excuse me. I've got to go. Actually, I'm trying to keep my head above water here.
I love it. Dylan, how people get you?
Big D Podcast, Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. See my content on the 20-year anniversary of Hurricane Charlie, which hit Southwest Florida. I am a Southwest Florida guy. I mean, spent most of my, well, not all, but good chunk of my life here in Southwest Florida. So we know everything about hurricanes.
Drank a lot during those hurricanes. That's all I remember.
No, I don't. I don't drink beer, Adam.
Oh. Hurricane parties, they were fun.
Come on. What were you doing in hurricanes?
I've been down in a few. I had a blast. Anyway. All right. John, is this kind of like whenever
People
Queen
hate
Elizabeth
facts.
thing? I know, right?
People hate facts. It's okay. What's up?
Just like when Queen Elizabeth and Macho Man got into it, like with Dom and Mommy.
Kind of like that. I mean, I think that's kind of what. I mean, everything's a reverb, right? Everything's back. They compared like the whole Rhea and Dom thing, like Eddie and Eddie and China thing. But I think it's gone a different way with that. I think you see the double swerve and stuff he was saying on Monday night. And like Dom is very good at like what you can read his face, and I think it's done on purpose. And that's meant when he got his face licked by Rhea 2 weeks ago. He made like the face, and you're like, oh, okay, he didn't like that. And now he's up here in the stands. He's like, yeah, you made me do this, and my chicken tendies, and she bought me a pizza. And it's just like, no, that doesn't. No, it's all just for Liv to go, yeah, I'm the best, and then he's gonna turn on her, and then he gets his just desserts when she gives him the riptide and kicks him in the nuts.
I think Dom's just the guy that follows the championship belt.
I think eventually, I've hated Dom. I think he's horrible. I think they pushed him way too fast. But to that credit, he learned on the fly. He's learned in the ring. He is better on the mic. He's getting his timing down. He's a little better. This is good for him because he's with the girls and kind of learning some things. But he's got some ways to go. I think eventually during this draft, I think maybe I'll throw down NXT for a little bit just to work on some stuff. But he's definitely come a long way from where he was 2-3 years ago.
Liv Morgan's a hottie.
You got to admit, John. You really got to admit, and I hear Bully Ray talk about this a lot. So kudos to Bully Ray. It's not necessarily how you do; it's how the fans react to what you do.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
He gets you got to admit, he's got a top 5 reaction in the business because he opens his pie hole and that crowd goes freaking nuts booing him. It's like Don Callis in AEW. He can't get a word out without them just burning right through him with boos. So he's got to be doing something right. As shitty as he is in the ring, he's done enough that, and of course, beating up your pops is, I mean, that's grounds right there for, especially when your pops is one of the most beloved guys in the history of the sport. I think you're off, though. I think you're off though a little bit. I really do. I don't. I think this Rhea and Dom split is going to stay split. I don't see them putting that dynamic back together.
Well,
I think
in the way, whether it's a plan of like she planned this and planted him back to live, and he comes back, or whenever they have their match, he sees the tide turning, decides to try to help her. However it works, he's gonna get it in the end from either, you know what I mean, like from Rhea. So that's kind of what the payoff's going to be from a lot of people seeing that happen in the ring. But I agree, top three when he opens his mouth on that mic, it's awesome. I love it. So
he's like a John Cena right now. Whenever he gets on the mic. Crowd's
Yankees
either
won 4-1. Baltimore lost, so the Yankees are half a game ahead of first place in the AL East now.
I don't want to talk football. I don't want to talk baseball. The Sox are giving it up, man. They had it, and they're just this whole Jared Duran thing.
Man, you got to be better than that.
I read everything, and then I'm on Twitter. And I was like, oh, and I saw the video. I went, oh, bro, you got to be better. You got in 2024. You literally have shit outside of Fenway that's rainbow colored, and you're dropping an F-bomb and not the 4-letter one on a fan.
Yeah,
got to be better. And they're trying to poach him as like, and they've been talking about it for I think since a little before the All-Star game. Oh, he's a leader in the clubhouse. He's figuring it out. He's got. If that's the leader you have, you got a lot more issues than just winning some ball games.
Yeah,
we really gonna let.
I'm surprised it's just a 2-game suspension. I'm really shocked. He's not just kicked. I'm not saying get him off. I'm not kicking him out of the organization. But you know what? In 2024, that kind of stuff can't fly, man. I really don't know kind of what's next for that kid. You can't just send him down and be like, oh, he's going to play in AA. So he's going to go down and call a fan down there in Portland. Like, you know what I mean? Or over in Lowell. So I feel like whether he doesn't play the rest of the year, they kind of just let him go at the end of the year. I don't think he suits up again in Boston.
He's only got a 2-game suspension, though.
Right, but that doesn't mean he can ride the pine the rest of the season. You start him, the moment you put him in the lineup, you condone it, and that's how it's going to get spun. Unfortunately, you're going past the big green wall as you go down the pike to get to the stadium, and it's literally rainbow colored. Talking about pride and inclusion, and this guy just dropped that word at home plate to a fan. Come on, it's not a good look. Not a good look.
No,
that's my opinion. I don't know. Just me.
No, you're right. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for the Red Sox. Yep. It really is, because if they don't play him, then it affects the team on the field. If they do play him, then it's not like he's the 25th guy on the bench that did that. This is one of their most productive players that made that comment. Yeah, I'd be like if Bryce Harper for the Phillies did it, or somebody like that. Yeah, that type of guy on this team. They're screwed either way. I wouldn't want to be Alex Cora. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't want to be anybody in that. When that happened, there was a meeting after that game, and they're just like, so what are we doing? Like, Cora's probably like, I'm not starting him. You kidding me? I'm not getting stuff thrown. I'm not getting batteries and stuff thrown at me when I go home tonight. No way. Because it looks like I condone it. I'm not starting him. You make the call. So, yeah, it's going to be, you're screwed either way, especially in this day and age where everything's so delicate. It sucks. I was like, well, maybe it wasn't. And then the audio came out and went, oh, man, it's so clear as day. I was like, dude. Mm-hmm. It was so second nature. Like, he just looked over once and then did it again. I was like, oh, man.
Like he's done it before.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Like, I was talking to Sox Addict about it, Adam, and she you go look at her Twitter. She was like, I don't even know if I want to root for this team the rest of the year. Like, there's a lot of people like, dude, like Rich just said, you can't damn if you do. Even if you get rid of them, now it's like you got to put the whole team through sensitivity training, and who else in the clubhouse thinks like, how people are on the internet and social media. If he said it, is that what you guys harbor down there in the clubhouse? And it's like, oh, dude.
I could have swore I just saw her at a game yesterday.
Yeah, she was there. I forgot. There's a friend of hers. Yep, she had a friend of hers that was. Yep. I forget who else. She had the baseball isn't boring shirt, and she was on TV, and they had her on the Nesson show. Pretty famous. Yeah, trying to get her to follow me. Not yet. We're working on it. I'm going to talk to Sox because they're friends. I'm like, hey, come on, man, bring your girl in. Come on, let's have her follow me. Let's have a show. But
I've been
yeah,
I
the
talked-
Sox. I think they had it, but I mean, what are they, Jamie? What are the Sox right now? 3.5 back of the wild card.
I talked to
Let me
her.
check.
I
I
talked
think
to
they
her
are.
yesterday, actually. I messaged her.
Who, Sox Addict?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yep.
talk. We talk all the time. We just can't get a show together.
Yeah, we were talking about it like before the All-Star break, and then stuff happened with me, and I'm like,
Yeah, I talked to Dr. Jim too, and he just wasn't good this week.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll get it down.
Absolutely. But yeah, so
I told her I got time because I don't have a car and no one's coming to pick me up to work. So I'm probably going to lose everything before I get better unless I get a car.
oh, geez, man.
Yeah, no one's picking me up for work, so I'm not Ubering. I'd lose money if I Uber.
We got to start a GoFundMe. I'm driving to the top. We got to start a GoFundMe. That sucks. How far is it away?
It's like 35 miles.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm not paying the Uber.
Yeah, Uber will kill you.
Like $130 wouldn't even be worth me going to work.
Yeah, no. You're losing money, yeah. Damn. But
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. We were supposed to have Paul Hope on today earlier, Chair, and he ended up he's going to Disney World or whatever it's called over in Paris, and he's leaving Thursday, and he ended up doing some store running shit today.
nice. I'm excited for this Saturday. This Saturday's going to be this Saturday's meeting Hulk Hogan, baby. That's it. It's a big one.
Which belt we get?
Oh, the big gold, baby. Big gold. Got to get him on that. I mean, I want to put him on the Undisputed. He had this one too, but
It's up above your head, right? It's up above your head on the right. It's up above your left.
you can't. I actually have it over there on that wall. I should have put it over here. But now I'll have the entire NWO, including Eric Bischoff, on one belt. So that's kind of
That's badass.
I finished the story on that one. So, but yeah.
You should tell how he's finishing the story.
I have so much going on the next 2 weeks. The new job. So I have All In. I have Emergence. I have Bash in Berlin. And the Bad Blood rolls around 3 weeks after that. Like, and we're rolling Survivor. It's gonna be fun. So, Rich, I'm gonna reach out to you. We'll talk, and then I had some page follow me on Twitter. I don't know if they're even watching or whatnot. Trying to get me with people like, obviously pay for appearance and stuff like that. So we might be having some people on. I know you and me were talking about a couple things. I reached out to Dijik. He said he's going to get back to me sometime in September. So hopefully that's a thing. Maybe I'll have you on.
I got to get going, guys.
All right, Jamie.
All right. How do people get you real quick?
Okay, you guys can follow me, yours truly, at Jamie or at Bill's Chat One, at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X. You can also follow me on theforkball.com, where I write stories for all sports. And as always, every Tuesday night, be sure to tune in to Driving to the Top Productions YouTube page, Twitch stream, Facebook page, wherever you get your podcast to listen to Open Mic Night. And you can also listen to tune into Wednesday night tomorrow on this same platform at 8:00 p.m. as me, Joe Dalio and I will be hosting the Subway Conversation baseball chat. So thanks for listening, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications, because we're always driving to the top and trying to be better. So thank you for listening, and you can listen to our other programs wherever you get your podcast. Thank you very much, folks.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Talk about wrestling and they all leave. Jesus
Wait.
Christ.
Come on.
Back to wrestling. Bye, Jamie. Everyone goes. It's just like, what are we doing? And see what I mean? I'm just looking at Twitter right now. NFL rumors 55 seconds ago. Update. 49ers are close to a deal with Brandon Ayuk and have an agreement with the Steelers on foundation of a trade. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Stop it. Just tell me when the fucking guy's gone or if he stays. Like, this is just so clickbait, man.
I'm
There's
getting tired of
there's so many Niners fans that I have on, and they're all like, shut up. Like, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to look at Twitter until I see, like, I'm going to see it on ESPN. Like, I see the flash and the alert. BA stays or PA goes. But
You were talking about wrestlers. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, John, you were talking about some of the wrestlers and that. I've got a couple of them working on. I have to shoot you a message direct, let you know who's in the works and that. But
Yeah, let me know.
I got 2 or 3 that are in the works. Most of them aren't current, but still,
That's
you
fine.
know, legends are fantastic, man.
Absolutely. The other contact I have is Gilbert, but he's so booked up. He told me if I want to book something around WrestleMania for next year, we can get it down on paper. I was like, damn, really? You're that? He goes, yeah, man. You have no idea. He's a local legend where he is.
So John, you should have booked it. Said, all right, let's do it. Schedule me in sometime.
Well, I get the new job, so it's gonna make sure we're good. I gotta let the new boss know. Hey, just so you know, these two nights in April, I can work the day shift. I can't work the nights. You can't work a Saturday night. No, you can't work a Saturday night.
Yeah, but you can work a week and been like, let's book it for that week, and then we'll set up a time frame when we get that week.
He has us penciled in. He has me that at least that week. I'm gonna get back to him with a date, so he'll be good. Stephanie Hypes, she has so much. She just keeps blowing up, man. She's wild. I didn't know. I found this out this weekend at SummerSlam, or 2 weeks ago at SummerSlam. I didn't know she's affiliated with Fightful. That's why that's not why she's popular. But she had pictures of her like doing like Top Golf and stuff like that, and like Sap was there, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now those are her connects. No, she asked the first question at the media scrum, the SummerSlam post show. She asked the first question. That takes a lot of pull to get the first fucking question. So she definitely knows the right people. So hopefully I'm trying to grab her for coming up Bash probably Survivor Series.
Good.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her take. She's awesome. She's so knowledgeable. She's awesome. So yeah.
And you had 500 viewers that night. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was fire, and I know a lot of them were hers too. So she's awesome, man. We got some good stuff cooking the next 6 to 8 months, so it's
good. We're talking wrestling, and our viewership just went up a little bit.
I told you, man. People love it. What did we do? Rich left a little early last week. It was me, Evan, and Adam. We ended the night at 1:14. It just kept, and all we did was talking about wrestling.
Nice.
So, Just Shot Sports.
Very nice.
Go, baby.
There you go. I mean, especially if you can get. I mean, there's a lot of them out there that they just talk about. Well, this guy beat that guy, and no, you got to have. You don't necessarily have to have two people that completely disagree. You don't have to have two guys that are playing completely different roles. One's playing the heel part, one's playing the face.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to have some kind of like we did with Survivor Series or SummerSlam. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We started out the first 2 or 3 picks. We both had the same pick,
and then we totally
different ways of getting there.
Yep.
But we had the same pick. But then after that, we kind of went this way and came back and then back out that way.
Yeah. And talking to Gilbert too was like some of the conversations you and me have, and he's cool because obviously being an old soul in the industry, he has such a great, a great memory and a great mind of like WCW and WWE, WWF. Talking about talking to him was amazing. So having him on is going to be fun as well. So it's cool. Excited.
Okay. Like I say, I'll shoot you a message with who I'm working on, but and then we can kind of see dates and that because if everything works out, it helps to have a buddy from high school that has been in the business for 35 years, close to 40 years, about 35 years, yeah. So and he knows a ton of people, past and present. He trained a few of them.
Oh, nice. Okay. Helps.
Yeah. So,
the
that kind of helps with, huh?
No, you're right. It definitely does help. And like, once we start having like Dijak on, and there's a couple people through the people that they added me and they messaged me, and it's like Victoria, Candice Michelle, Rowan. There's a couple other ones. Obviously it costs some money, but half hour, you can ask them whatever, you send them what you're going to ask. And, obviously those are good interviews. And then you kind of start building on that. And, we interviewed so-and-so. That's kind of how it progresses and we go down the road. So
I just wish my guy was still with WWE that I had for 6 or 7 years, because every time they did a house show here or if they did Raw here or whatever, I got the call from him. It wasn't even a case of me having to call him.
Yeah.
He'd call me and go, "Hey, I got an ad buy for you, and we want to do some interviews. Who you want?"
That's awesome.
It wasn't even, "Here's who we got. Who do you want?"
Yeah. Who do you want? Exactly.
And I mean, I interviewed everybody. I mean, I interviewed Bubba Ray. I interviewed Bubba and Devon together. Interviewed Cena, Triple H, the guy that shall not be named. I interviewed Kurt Angle a few times. Got a chance to interview Orton a couple of times. And
Randy
it was always one of those,
Randy or Bob?
Randy.
Oh man.
Yeah. But it was one of those deals that they knew, the guys knew that I knew the business enough that I wasn't going to ask them some stupid ass questions like, is it, what's it like working with Vince McMahon?
Right.
And that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no.
In fact, one of the last ones I did, I had Angelo Dawkins from the Street Profits, and they were supposed to be fighting the Usos when Jimmy and Jay. This was before Bloodline, okay? And we were talking and all that, and Angelo made the comment about main event. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to play dumb on this one. Who's main event?" He said, "Main event, Jay Uso, baby." And I went, "Okay, that's a new one for me." All right, is this breaking news here? He said, "Okay." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I may still have that interview. I could send it over to you."
Dude, I can just see him being like.
And he said that's what everybody calls him in the locker room. Everybody calls him main event. So he said, "I don't know if they're going to actually run with that at some point or not, but everybody in the locker room calls him main event."
Yeah, he's done amazing on his run. I love it. I mean, obviously they're going to come back together for this Bloodline stuff, and I think we get some sort of finality to it, like at WrestleMania, maybe like the top of the 9th, bottom of the 8th, but definitely like almost. I think after almost 5 years, I think we get to kind of close the book a little bit.
I think you're going to end up with Morgan, huh?
At Berlin, do they let Orton at 16 at Berlin?
No.
Excuse me.
No, if it was anyone but Gunther, no, there's no way. There's no way Gunther blood chops that belt. No.
If Priest still had the title, yes. If Priest still had the title, yes.
Anyone but Gunther. Gunther, I'm not saying he's going to go on the run he went with the IC belt, but there's no way. That man needs to go he's going to have himself a run through WrestleMania, retain there, take it to wherever he needs to go next year. But that guy's going to have a little bit of a run. Because
you remember what we talked about in the SummerSlam show? We were talking about Drew's going to get done with this other stuff, and he was going to go after Gunther. Well,
so it's funny. It's funny you say that. So I'm going to do a show because I did a quick one this past Monday. I was sick, so I just did a quick recap of last week. I'm going over the bad blood card. I have Gunther and Drew at bad blood. That's where I think it goes. I don't think he wins there yet, but I think that's where you start getting that match and it starts going on toward Mania. But
I think that kind of matchup could go deep. That could go 3-4.
Yeah, but Adam, you're taking a guy who just had the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship. They're building up as a powerhouse. You're gonna have him go over to. I mean, not for nothing, but to Randy Orton. Like Randy's not going to make that pin because he wants to give back to the business. He won't make the pin. Even if they were like, "Randy, we want to give it to you," just like Cena. Cena, we want you 17. Nope, I won't disrespect Rick like that. I don't want it. Vince tried 3 different times. John, I want you to. Nope. Cena was like, "Nope, I don't want it." There's no way Randy goes out there and goes, "Yeah, I'll take that." No, because then Randy gets not he's a part-timer, old man Orton coming in here, going into business, getting his next belt. Like, nah, he's here for the business. I think it puts Gunther over, and Randy, I think, has one more run down the road before he officially hangs it up.
You don't want to make Gunther a transitional champion. You don't. No. That's the last thing you want to do is make him a transitional champion.
That's some Vince stuff right there. That's some VKM stuff. VKM hated Gunther.
I don't know why. And then he gets beaten in St. Louis.
I think not at Bad Blood because I don't want to have Randy in back-to-back main events. You could though. Mm-hmm. But I think Randy and Cody need to have that match. I think that's going to be. I know people have been saying Cody's been having like a flat championship run. I think Randy and Cody. There's miles on that story. Rich knows miles on that story.
Sure, Legacy and all that. Yeah,
Legacy, the NXT. Oh yeah, baby. The NXT Pro. No, that was the Miz. I'm sorry. Miz was his NXT.
That was Miz. Yeah.
Yep. So, but all the way back to Legacy, oh yeah, baby, there's miles on that story. So that I think that's going to be one of his first good, like, to hang the hat on to that for that title run, and then probably a couple good ones. Then obviously we go into Mania, whatever's going to happen with Roman and The Rock. So it's going to be
So
good.
does the Cody and KO story end at Berlin?
Does the what?
Or how does this Cody and KO story go? Because I was so confused how KO got the title shot.
I think you're going to turn Kevin here, because I think if you guys watch SmackDown, Kevin's like, I don't want it. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do it. I don't want it. Please don't make me go in this match. I don't want it. And I think there's gonna be something happening. He's gonna turn heel, and he's gonna be like, I told you. Like, if it's for the belt, I'm gonna go for my belt. I didn't get it. It's been 10 years. They got a rematch for my belt. I'm gonna come for that belt. So,
I think that's also part of the reason why they brought Randy over to Raw, because you had Randy and KO teaming up, and they were teaming up with Cody and all that kind of stuff with all the bloodline garbage and all that. And now that we're going to start seeing Roman, and I'm curious to see how they bring this back, because I still think Heyman's got something to do with this.
I think so too.
If Heyman comes in, there's at least one other name that's coming with him.
Kotaku?
He ain't Samoan by no stretch of the imagination. He's the highlighter in the box. But Brock Lesnar's coming into this thing somewhere, some way, somehow.
I agree. That was my tweet. I put that tweet out. I thought it was going to happen on SmackDown. It all started coming to fruition. What I said was going to happen, but then Paul didn't come out with it. Brock went down. It was like 95%.
Yeah, because we talked about that for SummerSlam. Yeah.
Yep.
Heyman was there for both events.
Huh?
He was backstage. He didn't come out.
Oh, always. Yeah. I mean, Heyman's a producer too. Yeah. I mean, he's got more pull. He's got a lot of pull, man. I mean, he could be, if it wasn't for someone like Paul Levesque, like, Heyman could be in that position. I'm not going to lie. Like, that man has a mind for the business. I think when he's done, he kind of goes in the back and does his thing for a while before he goes off into the sunset.
You wonder why SmackDown is so good. You've got Michael Hayes and Paul Heyman back there.
Yeah, Michael Hayes is so underrated, man. I always go and I find out after every PLE, after it's all said and done, I forgot what page I go to on Twitter. I have it bookmarked. And I go to see who the producers are. And the ones that slap are always Michael Hayes, always Paul Heyman. I forgot. I always forget his name. Natalia's husband.
Oh, TJ Wilson.
TJ Wilson. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry, TJ. I always forget the name. He does amazing with the
very
women's
lucky
matches.
man, by the way.
Huh?
Very lucky man, by the way.
Yeah. No, I agree. Natalia just started following us a month ago on Square Shot, so that was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I thought it came through. Oh, it's a fan account, and I go over 2.3 million. I'm like, oh, it's Natalia. Okay. So
I have always been a huge fan of hers.
Yeah, she gets a lot of heat, but she does her job. They're like, what do you need me to do? Who needs to get over? I got you. I'll go make it happen. Who we cheered for? I'll go make it happen. But he does an amazing job with the women's matches, Money in the Banks, any kind of title matches. He's awesome. Even I'm so bad. It's getting later too, and I'm in a fog being sick. Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, Angle. What's his name?
Oh, Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan's being. I forgot two of the matches he's done. That's one at SummerSlam, one I think at Money in the Bank. I forgot what the matches are, and they were bangers. And he's getting good as well as so it's good. The future's bright. The future's bright. Triple H isn't going anywhere for a while, so we're good.
Yeah, but, and it's definitely different seeing Michael that I saw here in the early '80s. You know, with the whole Von Erichs and Freebirds thing, and then transitioning to the rock and roll stuff. I still have my Bad Street USA shirt somewhere. I got to find it.
That's awesome.
I couldn't fit in it on a bet, but I've got it around somewhere. But just that whole thing with him and getting to know, I got to know him a little bit while they were still here and that. But man, what he's done since he kind of transitioned his life, and I think a lot of that happened when Terry Gordy passed away. Mm-hmm. And loved Terry Gordy, loved me some Terry Gordy, man. But he's really just, taking off and taking a lot of careers up.
Yeah, he was just a guy back there, and I think he's definitely rosing himself up to be like a premier producer back there. He does it awesome. Like you said, SmackDown, nothing against Raw. Raw does good. Raw does well in spite of itself. I mean, you have the talent, you have the stories there. You just got to put it together for 3 hours. I'm on the boat. People are starting to talk about it. I don't know if USA wants to do it because not for nothing they did it with Monday nights. There's a good case to make SmackDown 3 hours. You do have enough talent, and where it's not filler, you have stories. It is legitimate.
I kind of like being rushed out of SmackDown though. I kind of like feeling that left. What's next?
That is true, and that's the counterpoint. A lot of people are like, no. I want
more.
Huh?
It's like Horny says, you leave them wanting more.
Yeah. I mean, if they did do it, I wouldn't be mad about it. I mean,
these sports rockers, John, went out of season. I got disappointed.
Oh, did you? But yeah, no.
Did your bar have these?
Which one is that? Cold Snap?
The sports rockers, the Samuel Adams.
Yes. Those are good.
Those are delicious.
Yeah, Sam never puts out. And shout out to Sam Adams for getting me onto the field in Boston 2 weeks ago. That was fun, dude. Like that was fun time hitting balls. But yeah, no. Yeah, I think everything's going good right now. It's a good time. It's getting right into the good part of the year, November. I don't know what December is going to bring, and then we flip the page, and here we go. And we're on the road, and I think we all have an idea. I think you and me talked about it for SummerSlam. We all have a decent idea of what is going to happen. But I know there's going to be a lot of surprises and a lot of returns and a lot of people coming back. So, and I'm excited. I don't know if do you guys watch NXT at all?
Some.
I don't have cable, so I hear what you say, and that's all I get.
So I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight because it's 8 to 10. So I watched the first. You can already see what they're like. They All Ego came out. Ethan Page came out and he had the mic sleeve. It said All Ego. And then Joe Hendry came out and his mic said the Joe Hendry logo. And I'm like, oh, they're trying something new. All the wrestlers are going to have their own little cute little mic sticks. Okay. Like, I think they're going to start trying new stuff for CW. And that's the biggest thing, too. Everyone's like, oh, WWE's being like AEW. They're signing all these people. No. If Ricky Starks goes to WWE, he's going to CW. If so-and-so comes over, the Lucha Brothers, they're going over to CW. Like, they need to start building up the CW roster. Like, they need to have a good show over there. They don't have a lead-in on USA, like, watch Raw. Hey, make sure tomorrow night you – no, you got to see – that's it. You're a standalone, baby. You got to go. They're already doing 2 road shows to see what they get, which don't like that they're bringing in Orton in St. Louis, and they're bringing in Punk in Chicago. It's very a la AEW, not for the cheap pop. And then, like, if we're going to see if it runs on the road, you really don't want to be bringing top-tier talent to that show and be like, look, they sold out the arena because Randy Orton was there. And vice versa for CM Punk. Like, come on, Punk was there. Of course it's going to sell out. But I said,
did a little gym.
What's up?
Is it at a big event? Like, like the
house show?
Joe Arena, or is it at?
So right now they're taking the smaller venues. They're taking the ones that they fill up, and AEW can only fill half of, respectfully. And it's they're not ready for the big arenas yet. I don't think NXT would be. They need to put some serious talent on that roster to start selling out big arenas. But they do a great job of just kind of coattailing with WWE, like WrestleMania, Stand Deliver, like No Mercy is the next pay-per-view. I love how they're bringing back all these old pay-per-views. Sorry. Get rid of out of this cold. Hope and a prayer. I'm hoping that Armageddon makes its comeback in December. I'm waiting for some crazy announcement. I'm really hoping that Armageddon comes back in December. But yeah, I think NXT has a bright future. I think it's going to be a traveling brand. Probably going to have I could see him probably coming out with a 4th show as well. I mean, it's Netflix. Like I said, could be a resurrection of WCW, another brand, another show. I don't know. But they are filling up with talent. And once all those NXT guys are ready and they start signing those other people to NILs, those people got to go somewhere. So, but I mean, in 5-6 years, to be realistic, AJ Styles is gone. Randy Orton is gone. Obviously, John Cena is gone. Like all these old heads will be gone. Like Bobby Lashley, unfortunately, is now gone. Probably see him in AEW, probably at All In or Revolution. Yeah, so another 3, 4, 5 years, I think these guys are ready to like grab that stick and run with it.
Why'd Bobby Lashley fall off?
I don't think he fell. I mean, I'll let Rich should probably take this one. I don't think he fell off. I think he was misbooked.
Definitely. I mean, the big problem was Triple H put this Hurt Business thing together. And Vince went, nah, no, we got too many groups. So he started screwing around with different stuff. And you had Lashley and Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, which would have been a great group. And you had MVP with him serving as the mouthpiece, because realistically, none of the three of those guys are that great on the mic, but MVP can talk. And then Vince started screwing around with stuff and that kind of deal. Lashley's not the most agile guy out there. Okay. He's not Cedric Alexander. He's not Shelton Benjamin, but he's a great compliment. He's a great big guy. And if you use him the right way, which is why I'm kind of wondering, because who is in ROH right now and who is a free agent? Cedric Alexander is in Ring of Honor right now, and Shelton Benjamin's a free agent.
Oh yeah, Shelton already said on the Chris Van Fleet show he has miles to go. Like, absolutely, yeah, I totally.
So could you arguably put this back together? And see, my original thought to it until he left was you put those three guys back together and have Mark Henry as their mouthpiece. But of course, Mark Henry left.
You saw Raw last night, right?
Yeah.
So I think Mark Henry's officially made the jump back to WWE unofficially. I think now that his son.
Oh yeah, because his kid signed.
But not for nothing, obviously. But he wanted to be a producer for Vince, and Vince was like, "Nah, I got nothing for you." Now, obviously, he made the call, and Paul was like, "Please get in here. Like, we got you. Come down and hang out."
Right.
So,
AEW has got to start. How do I put this the right way? They're firing the wrong people. Yeah. If you think about the minds that they've had in that front office, Tony Khan has got to, and okay, this is going to be a whole nother set of heat that's probably going to get stirred up. Tony Khan has got to stop trying to be Vince McMahon.
Agreed.
He's not talented enough to book all this stuff. When you had guys like William Regal and Arn Anderson and Dean Malenko and all these guys that you had backstage, and Mark Henry,
Cody
that
Rhodes.
you could have had booking these shows and working with these young guys and developing them. I guarantee you Adam Copeland isn't getting a chance to do crap with this stuff. And Chris Jericho, I'm a Jericho guy, but Jericho is not helping anybody anywhere with all this learning tree crap.
And not for nothing.
The only thing he's doing is giving Big Bill a chance to be on TV.
And I'm not making fun of him. I'm not. He has. It's just the time has come. Like the mind is willing, and you can just no matter what he does in the gym, it's just time. You just got to go, man. Like it's just he can't. Right. The other match he had the other night, I was like, Chris, come on, man. Like there's nothing you can do in the gym to help that. Like it's just old man stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got to go. Like,
but it even comes down to the announcers, because yeah, I was gonna say Delirious, and that's not right. Excalibur is horrible. Tony Schiavone is way out of his time. Taz needs to be backstage working with these young guys. You've got two excellent broadcasters that you're wasting away in Ring of Honor. Ian Riccaboni is freaking phenomenal, and so is Chris Cruz. You put those two guys out there, or Nigel McGuinness. There's talk that Nigel has been cleared to try and come back to the ring. But Nigel McGuinness and Ian Riccaboni is better than anything that AEW has thought about having in the broadcast booth. But they can tell the story.
No, I agree. Tony had it in his hand. I don't know if it was you and me talked about it during SummerSlam or if it was a couple months ago, but I've been saying it. My only critique, because I like both, I crap on both, I praise both. Tony had it. When he purchased Ring of Honor, I went, shit. Now he has a developmental just like NXT. And he pissed it away. He literally bought it for the video so WWE couldn't get it. Like you literally had the same kind of developmental thing that WWE, you could literally filter them through. And Tony went, nah, well, no, what you had it. It's not your AEW Dark, and it's definitely not Rampage. What are you doing? You took a great historical name of Ring of Honor and you shit on it, man. Like it's glorious dark. It's glorious dark matches. I just went to Dynamite in Worcester in May. and they have 2 matches, the Ring of Honor, like they have the Ring of Honor apron, and then, okay, guys, Shivani comes out, it's time for AEW Dynamite, and then they get everything over, and that's it. What are we doing?
And you think we were talking about the guys in the back and the veterans and all that. Ring of Honor. Okay, if I have Samoa Joe, do you honest to God, if I got Samoa Joe on my roster, is he not on my TV every damn week?
Yeah,
doing something?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, Mike Bennett, Roddy Strong, Kyle O'Reilly. I'm okay with Osprey. He's fine. MJF is fine, but I'm talking about the veterans. I'm talking about those guys. Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal has been so misused by this guy.
Jay
Lethal is one of the most.
He's a manager.
You got to put him with Bobby Lashley if he comes over. He's another one you got to. And there's your mouthpiece. Jay Lethal, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, and have Lethal be the mouthpiece. There you go. You got a great little cluster there, a great little faction that could just absolutely be phenomenal. I understand you got Bryan Danielson, who is supposedly part of the booking committee,
Allegedly.
But allegedly, if they let him do it, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. If I still call him Cesaro. Claudio Castagnoli to me is the most underrated, underutilized guy in the history of professional wrestling. Not named Arn Anderson.
He's just there. He
was the guy that wanted to come back to WWE. Who did I see? Del Rio's guy.
Alberto Del Rio?
Yeah, what was his little companion?
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Rodriguez. He wants to come back after 10 years. I read that the other day.
But it's just like, and I love Jeff Jarrett. Again, an icon, a legend. I hope I get to meet him someday. I hope I see him at a signing or he's going to be available. But I just,
cool guy.
He's main eventing your AEW and you're 3 weeks out from All In. What are we doing? That's just not the way. I mean, I get it. Have him in a filler match at the beginning of the hour, whatever you're doing. That's your main event. What does that make sense? And it goes back to who's writing this stuff. What you're 3 weeks out.
Pencil.
And not even that, like, not for nothing. I mean, I know the tribalistic people want to talk about ticket sales and the ratings and the demos. Have we seen All In at Wembley? They're barely at 55,000. What happened to the sellout last year? What happened to the almost 80,000 tickets? You might not even crack 60, homie. What is that? That should make Tony Khan lay awake at night sweating his balls off. You can't even put 65,000 people in something you sold out almost 80,000 to break the record. That's bad. That's not good.
Here's one other thing you got to remember. No matter what anybody says, and they had him and they let him go, or they fired him, those 25,000 other tickets, I got 6 letters for you. CMPUNK. CM Punk is responsible for the rest of those tickets. Write it down. I guarantee it. Anybody wants to dispute that, I will argue it to the death. He is responsible for at least 25 to 30,000 tickets to that show. And if you put him in that ring against Will Ospreay, or if you put him in that ring with Kyle Fletcher, you're going to have one heck of a phenomenal match, and it's going to make the show. And Bryan Danielson is going to have a great match anyway. Ospreay is going to have a great match anyway. But you put 2 really good guys in there together, it's church, man.
Yeah. And Punk opened the show. Opened the show with Joe for the title that last year. Like,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, you've got to be.
But that's what I mean. And those are the numbers we go off of. And of course, not to be outdone. And that's why I love, I'm going to talk about it a little bit on my show. I'm going to do a show Thursday because I didn't do a whole one this, but Tony Khan comes out and he says a lot of people are working against us. Bro, nobody's trying to hurt you. You're hurting yourself. No, WWE does not lose sleep over you at all. Nobody. And of course, so now WWE's like, okay, did they have their fun? Oh, they set the record, right? They went over there. Okay, go over to Frank. Hey, can we take Wembley again? Can we run Mania at Wembley? That's going to be a sellout. You want to see no seats left unturned? That is going to be the biggest WrestleMania in a long, long time. And of course, they're going to break the record. Because AEW set the record. All right, we'll shatter that. Don't worry about it. We got it. So it's just like I just hope. I've said it before. Go ahead. What?
Is that where Mania is next year?
No, I think they're looking 2 years out. Vegas is next year. Minnesota, I think, is 42 because they were going to go to Minnesota.
Indianapolis is the following year.
So 4 years out, you're looking at
So next year
next year's Vegas. Year after that is Minnesota. Yeah. Indianapolis is 42. 43 would be at Wembley.
Right. They're doing it at Legion. It's not where the King or the Knights play, right?
No, they're doing Legion.
Yeah.
In WrestleMania in Vegas is at Legion Stadium.
Oh yeah, no, they do it all. Yeah, any of the main rosters get all the arenas. Whatever satellite arena they have, usually that's where NXT will hold their.
Vegas is going to be nuts that week.
Oh, dude, that's why they're doing it. They were going to go to Minnesota, and then after the stuff with the WrestleMania kickoff show, they saw everyone around. They went, "Oh shit, no, yeah, we're doing it out here." And they told Minnesota, "We'll see you next year. We'll announce you guys next year for yours." So, but
That'd be cool at the Viking ship, though.
What happened?
That'd be cool to see it at the Viking ship.
Yeah, that would be cool. Indianapolis, I already told my wife, like at that point, like I think that's gonna be the Mania. I'm gonna try to put that crown in my crown, like that jewel in my crown, I should say. The only one left after that is just Survivor Series, and I got all the big four. Well, 5 if you count Money in the Bank, but yeah,
I don't know. I'm surprised Kayla didn't want to go to Vegas with you.
What? No,
it's the
kids. My in-laws aren't going to watch them for no. At least Indianapolis is kind of closer. I can get back quicker. But no, man, I say it every week. I say it all the time on Twitter. AEW needs to thrive. WWE will do great without them, but you need to have those guys in the rearview mirror, no matter how far, if they're on your ass or if they're 10 miles back. You need to have a competition where someone else can go, so they can't just go, shit, I guess I'll be unhappy here because I'm not getting paid anywhere else. You need to have another, like a decent breeding ground, another federation. And I really, really, really hope. That's probably my birthday wish this year. I want AEW to turn it around, man. They were good for like 6 weeks, I think, after their version came clean to ring.
They brought over too many people at once, all at the same time, and didn't know what to do with them.
I said that 2 years ago when I first started. Before I do the YouTube, I did a podcast on Spotify. It's the first thing I did. It's like Tony filled up this cupboard, and then he went, "Oh shit! All right, well, you and your side for 5." There was no rhyme or reason. Just grab everybody, grab every brick, and a lot of people jumped too. They were like, "Oh, screw this." VKM was at his height of whatever he was doing over there. People wanted to leave, whatever the reason. Cody's over there, new upstart. Cody had a lot of people that went over just for him, So it was great. It was a great thing. And then Jericho brought a lot of people, but it just Tony used to go.
Now,
go ahead.
And now you got to the point the Young Bucks are worthless. Omega's not even doing anything anymore because he's been sick with that diverticulitis. And I mean, we all saw what that did to Brock Lesnar. So, he's going to be hit and miss if he even comes back. AEW will not, and I'll stand on this. AEW will not be the success that it can be until Tony Khan gives up the pencil.
Agreed. Yep.
I don't care who it's to. Jeff Jarrett, Bryan Danielson. Hell, give it to Adam Copeland as far as that goes. Give it to somebody that knows where to steer this ship. Give it to Samoa Joe. But somebody that's going to know how to develop these programs and make the stuff work.
And that's what I'm saying.
He ain't doing it.
You have the people. You have Copeland. You have Samoa Joe. You have Bryan Danielson. These guys are going to need work. Just because they're done wrestling, these can be your creative. These can be your producers. Use them. I saw a meme. It wasn't even an outreach. What was the league that Jeff Jarrett had? Global Wrestling Alliance. What was it?
Global Force Wrestling. Global Force Wrestling.
Global Force Wrestling had bigger crowds than what Collision pulls on Saturday nights. Dead ass. Mm-hmm. And they have the receipts that people showed it. And the little half stadiums when they went to like baseball stadiums. More people were there than people go to Collision. So
do you think that when Khan brought over like CM Punk and Copeland and everyone else, by changing their name, did they have to change the way they were because of WWF or E, whatever we're calling it this week?
No.
No, I think they came over just as them and just whatever they they obviously going to use their.
WWF control their names, or did they get to take them names with?
So right now, currently, when you come in, you can take your name with you now. That's the new thing they just started doing in WWE. But before you had like Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan, same with the two, same real name, son, and then flip it around. Edge can't say that because they own it, so it's Adam Copeland. My thing is, I think what Tony Khan didn't take into account, and maybe Vince didn't, but Vince had a lot of people around him to kind of keep track of the herd. I think he put a lot of volatile people into one place, and only one person can have that spot. And of course, he made the 17 belts. Like obviously, they have the knockoff Intercontinental Championship by having the Intercontinental was split into two in AEW. But it's just like I don't think Tony accounted for when you bring Punk in. Punk's volatile. He's you got to handle him with kid gloves, and you got to piss him like Jack Perry, who's going to piss him off, and Punk doesn't take that. Punk says it all the time. I don't take disrespect. I'm trying to help you. Don't listen to me, fine, but don't go out there and disrespect me. That's exactly what happened. But even before that, I think he put a lot of people in one room, and I think he got over his head. He got lost in the sauce, and just Punk said it again. I take it for what it's worth. It's obviously I don't think it's a shoot interview, but Punk said it. Khan is the feel-good, nice boss who just wants to go in, grab a cup of coffee with you, and hey, man, awesome job last night. You were great. Good job. Keep it up. He doesn't want to be the discipline. He doesn't want to be the hard ass. He doesn't want to be a VKM, and that's why VKM. If you screwed up, you walk through that curtain. There's one guy waiting for you, a gorilla, and that's Vince McMahon. And you had to look that man in the eye, and him look at you, go get the hell out of here, get your stuff, and get out. You're not on tomorrow's show. You go in the back. Tony's like, no, go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying, the perfect guy he had is gone. Again, he let him go. Could you imagine walking back there and having a pissed off William Regal looking at you?
Or an Arn Anderson?
Or an Arn Anderson?
Ooh. Arn's scary just looking at him, let alone if he's pissed. Gets that red face. Woo.
I'm just like, if you were just a normal WWE fan and didn't follow like what their actual like real names were or whatever, like if you heard Adam Copeland's coming to the ring, you'd be like, who the fuck's Adam Copeland?
Exactly. I wouldn't know who that was if I didn't watch. If I wasn't in the know, who's Adam Copeland? I don't know who that is.
Right. So that name doesn't motivate you.
Yep.
The big perk he has is that he owned the right to his music. And you hear that music start, that's Edge or Adam Copeland. You hear that, you think you know me, and it automatically.
Like
that song slapped, man. Post Brood. Oh yeah, man, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Promo of Adam Copeland's fighting Christian, you'd be like, all right, he's fighting Christian.
Christian Cage. Is that Christian? Is that
right? And then you're like, or these two, like they used to be tag team partners, right?
Yeah. So it's very much just like the the biggest, I think, besides like the King Queen of the Ring stuff, what they're doing with the Owen Hart, they literally took a faction from NXT, brought most of them over to AEW, and literally called them Undisputed. You literally gave them the same name that they had in WWE, man. Got my homework, but don't make it obvious. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, even the music. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? But I hope he figures it out. Like you said, I agree with Rich. Until he hands the pencil over and just steps the hell away, comes in, does what he needs to do, sign the checks, talk to people, and have producers and people who write, it's not going to be good. It's not good.
Samoa Joe isn't Samoa Joe anymore.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, he went back.
He owns the name Samoa Joe.
Yeah. A lot of those guys, like Ring of Honor, older guys, they own their names. Yeah.
I thought whenever he came out, like the first couple of times, it wasn't Samoa Joe.
Yep.
No, he's always been Samoa Joe. He's been Samoa Joe since he was in Ring of Honor 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But, it's wild how it's wild. Like, you just think they like got in WWE now if you don't pay attention. And you're like, oh, this guy's young. And then you hear his age, you're like, what the hell have I been?
I want to know what they're feeding him over down in developmental, man. That PC center. Damn, these guys look good, man. Like Randy Orton, obviously when they get the close-up, you see like the wrinkles and but he looks good, man. He came back yoked.
When he-
AJ Styles came back on another world. That man was on another planet. He came out. My wife went,
That's my
"Oh."
guy. That's my guy. My ringtone on my phone is his entrance music.
You know what? No.
I mean, when he came in at the Rumble, I popped, and my wife's like, "What?" I said, "I knew AJ was coming in. I knew he was coming," and she's
Yep.
like, "Okay, but there you go."
I think we talked about that too, because like that was the first Rumble. That was the first show my wife started watching, and I went nuts. She goes, "What? Why are you so?"
You hear
Maybe
it?
because you have your earbuds in.
No, put the earbud on the speaker, Rich,
Yeah.
or next to your mic. I can't hear.
No. Wish I had a way to bring
Yeah.
Spotify real quick. But yeah, no, it's the same thing. Like, excuse me. I marked out. And she's like, "What's going on? Who's this?" Like, that's started the whole journey of where we are now. So, but yeah,
As soon as I saw him phenomenal on that screen, I was done at that point. I was like, all right,
Yep.
here we go. My boy is there.
You always
I
get that one point, and I'm glad, like, your other half is supportive, and now all of a sudden they watch a little bit with you, and at least a little more conversation. Like,
and it's
even
cool
your
too. We
kids-
go to shows that she knows what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, she's excited to see something going on. Like, she's invested in like the bloodline. She's invested in like the Judgment Day stuff. So it's cool. It definitely makes it easier. But yeah,
John, are we
I-
gonna hit 100 or what? We're at 90. We were at 80, and then we started talking about wrestling. We picked up 10 viewers.
I hate to be that guy though. I just looked at the time. I got to get going.
I do too. But
Sorry.
I tell you what, though, my grandson is learning. He comes into the bedroom and he starts bouncing around. I've taught him how to take a flat back bump on the bed. I keep telling him, I'm like, put your chin right here, and he's like, okay, and then he flops back and he just throws his arms out. He does a splash on top of his dad, and I'll be like, "Whoa!"
Love it.
Yeah,
Did you guys
together.
see the tweet I put up with my oldest about Raw?
Oh
Video
yeah.
Uncle Howdy liked that, by the way.
Nice, very
I
nice.
My wife came home. I'm like, oh, like, no. Then I went to the page and went, oh, he won't follow us. They don't follow. He doesn't follow a lot of people, but I get it. But I was like, oh, but yeah. So he like, that's, I think, like 2,500 views or something. But yeah, so now she's like Monday. She knows when Monday nights are because she wants to come out and see Uncle Howdy. And then she started like, who's that? She knows who. When Cody comes out, she doesn't do the whole thing. She goes, oh, like she knows Cody. Like she's getting there. We're getting there. The wrestling moves are next. My worry is she's gonna start doing them on their younger sister. I can't be doing that. So, but yeah,
Well,
I got
Jackson does everything on his daddy, so
I love it. If it was just me, I would no problem. She beat me the hell up. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. I would love it.
Yeah.
So, John or Rich, are we going Friday then at 2:30?
Did you see my message? Jared has a issue. He needs to do 3:15 instead of 2:30.
On Friday.
Is that going to work?
I'm not working, so yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll shoot him a message. Says we're all good.
We have the Rangers and play-by-play guy coming on. Just to let everyone know. Friday.
Yeah. My buddy Jared Sandler. He's part of the Rangers broadcast team. He does some play-by-play. He did TV play-by-play several games this season. He does some radio play-by-play in color. Hosts the pregame and postgame. He does all kind of stuff on that broadcast network. And he's a really good guy too. Super involved with a big charity up in Dallas Fort Worth. That I'm sure we'll get into a little bit too when we talk to him. But the Pirates play the Rangers first of next week, so we definitely want to get into that and get a little bit of a behind enemy lines type deal for the from the Pirates perspective.
John, did you join the fantasy football?
I'm in. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Oh, I didn't get to show you the trophy.
Oh yeah. Very cool. All right.
Fantasy football champion.
Well, we've got 5 as we
right
speak. We've got 5. We've got
Oh, there we
me,
go.
John, Adam, Craig, and Dylan. So we've got 5 that are in already.
I'm trying to get NFL outdated to join. Trying.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm in, man.
I got it set up to go 12. Once we get everybody involved, then we need to, nail down the definite date and time and all that kind of good stuff. So
maybe we
for
could
the
do it
draft.
for open mic. Maybe we could set it up for open mic since we're all here already.
I'm game for that.
Be cool to do it live.
Will we get the viewers for a fantasy draft though?
I don't know.
I bet we would, especially if we push it. If we use the right hashtags, we can.
About a half hour of the show.
How many rounds?
16.
Listen, I'm going to say this because I know this is live and recorded, so we can listen. I'm just saying, if you're watching or you see this, I mean this with respect. When we're going to do this, whatever we pick, this can't be like Dylan. Anybody, there can't be analytics over every pick that we do. We'll be on the show for 6 hours. Like if someone picks someone number 1, oh, why would you do that? Stop. Talk about it in the chat. Talk about it next week. Just don't, because if we do that, we're not going to go fast at all. Like,
if since we'll be doing it online, you only get a minute to pick.
Right, but I'm just saying he's going to keep talking about the pick, and like someone's like Matt's going to try to pick number 3, and he's still talking about number 1 pick that I had. I'm like, dude, stop! Like we're not talking about number 1 anymore. Like Matt's trying to pick number 3. Like, you know what I mean? I mean that respectfully. I'm just that goes for all of us. You know what I mean? Like obviously we can shit on somebody. Oh, good picker. Way to reach. Stuff like that. But just to keep like going analytics wise of who you should pick and who not.
We fluster Dylan every show, and I love the kid.
What?
We fluster him so bad, and I love it.
And the thing is, too,
he does shit to himself.
But our 12-person draft, I mean, it shouldn't take hour and a half at most. So if hour to an hour and a half, so we could even do kind of a post kind of thing, like they do a lot of that on fantasy sports radio on Sirius XM. My guys Dan Klaskins and them over there. I've talked to them an awful lot and that kind of stuff over the years.
Ann on here to talk football, that'd be great.
Say again?
You get us Lisa Ann on here to talk football, that'd be great.
Stop it! Don't play with my emotions. Or Rochelle Ryan, stop it. Dude, bro. Watch out now.
I try to get Lisa Ann to follow me back every time I see a tweet.
Nikki Benz follows me. I could reach out. She's a huge Giants fan.
Nikki Geist.
Oh.
Nikki and Madden are going to be doing a show.
They could be like, yeah. We'll figure it. Okay, we'll talk. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what Nikki can do. I mean, I don't know if I'll get into her, but I mean, wrong choice of words. I don't know if I'll get into her. Probably not. It's not in the business, you got to know somebody. You got to know someone to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, I thank everyone. We didn't break the century mark, but we were damn close.
Awesome.
We had 93 boys.
Listen, if I knew that these 2 little ones were going to be up, weren't going to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd go another half hour, 45 minutes with you guys. But
right. So Rich, our show has been moved to Friday this week, 3:15. Unless you want to do tomorrow, we can talk about how this horrible thing that Pirates are on right now.
No, I mean, I'm good with doing Friday. I've got the Pirate game on right now. We're down 2-0 in the 7th against San Diego. But yeah, I mean, we can do Friday instead of tomorrow. That's cool.
It's up to you, unless you want to do like a quick recap of the week or whatever, and then we can shoot into a special guest Friday. Text me tomorrow. Let me know.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
All right. John or Rich, let's go with you first since John's on mute. How do people get a hold of you, buddy?
You can get me on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it this week, at Go Big Go Home Pod. We're on Facebook under Rich Richardson. I am verified, by the way, on the X. So I got myself a little blue check mark now, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, you can check me out either one of those places, and of course, here on Tuesdays and on our Pirates Chat show on Wednesdays at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern.
2 away, boys. 2 away. 2 away. We got the 98. We picked up 7.
I'm going to talk real slow when I'm talking about where you can find me.
It's those little victories, right?
Yeah, right. Hey, that'd be 2 weeks in a row, man. The century mark. Listen.
John, how do people find you?
You can find me anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. You can find me on Spotify. You can also find us here on X or Twitter, Twix, whatever you want to call it. Also on YouTube. If you're not already following us, please shoot us a subscribe, hit that bell. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at the same tag, Chair Shot Sports.
Driving to
If
the
it gets to 99, Adam's not going to hang up until it gets to 100.
Driving to the Top Productions. You can find us there. You can leave comments. Somehow Matt's Twitter gets feedback, and we're able to get feedback from Twitter. Apparently, I didn't realize Tim was on Twitter, so that's cool. 99. Anyway.
So tomorrow it's supposed to be a high 65 here in New England. With
It's supposed to be what?
The time is 11:52 p.m. And
No, let's go back to this high tomorrow. What?
no, tomorrow's supposed to be around 75, 80 to here, up in here in New England. We're almost in that, almost in Indian summer. Like, it's supposed to be just like low 70s, high 80s, like the rest of the
Indian summer. Our lows aren't that low.
Hey man, listen.
Seriously, our low last night was 77.
I'm enjoying this before the time comes where the air hurts my face. I'm just enjoying this run. So,
yeah, our low last night was 77. It was 102 today. So, yeah.
Jeez. I could not. Is it? It's a dry heat, though, right?
Not here.
No, it's humidity down there. Doug.
That's Arizona, right? They say it's a dry.
It is a dry heat in Arizona.
Someone
My daughter was stationed there.
Like last month, someone put one of their little things of it was like Death Valley was 172 degrees. Are you? That's not even inhabitable.
I know Tucson had their record high where my daughter was stationed until she just went to Italy here recently. And she, it was 128. And that was the record high for any day in Tucson. But the humidity is like 12%.
Oh, so literally you walk out and you need like a like one of those like neck fans and just like a little like towel on your head to keep you cool.
Pretty much.
All right.
That's fucking
Adam, listen, man. We're talking about the weather, bro. Come on, man. Like,
yeah. All right. We're gonna call it, guys. I thank everyone for tuning in. We didn't hit the century mark because these guys.
Here it is. Okay, we got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just got confirmation from Jared.
All right. We are going Friday, guys. Just like 101. We're climbing. Oh, back to 99. We hit 101. The temperature hit 102 today in Texas. And hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Open Sports Mike. You know, if you're interested in joining us and we got room, let us know. We'll get you in on there. You know, open conversation. Why not?
Sure.
But hey, guys, have a good one, and we'll see you later.
Toodles.